Wake up, wake up, wake up. It's the first of the month. Get up, get up, get up. Certified salute to the whole family, y'all. This right here is how the Democratic shields are looking. Real broke down, real upset, real overweight, real irrelevant. Oh, that ain't nobody any damn way. This right here is how certified foundational black Americans is looking. Not giving a damn, holding it down, because it's FBA Friday. And we in the house. Let's go.
That's our motto. We want freedom by any means necessary.
Yeah, I might be anywhere, but when I leave, you remember I said the last words on my lips. I am a revolutionary.
Certified salute to the whole certified family. Black Alpha Network in the building. And it's all time. Happy first of the month. The summer is here. And we right here and we hot right along with it. Gotta send much love to the certifieds because it's certified all the time. Chicago up in here. Chicago was in here early and I already know that. Yes, indeed, all damn day. GAs represent to the fullest, to the maximum. I already know the DMV done pulled up. I see Greensboro, North Carolina. I see Memphis is in here. Milwaukee's in here. Boston, Massachusetts, much love and respect to Beantown, Philadelphia, Connecticut. Certified salute to you and everybody with you right now. Austin, Texas, Delaware, Denver. I love what y'all got going on. The 718, Brooklyn's in here. Duval's in here. Philly, that's 2 times. Detroit, another Denver. Harlem, New Jersey, Chicago again. Houston, stand up. Columbia, North Carolina, Michigan, Cincinnati. I already know what it is. Summersville, South Carolina for the summertime. Milwaukee, one more back. 619, one more back. I see Memphis, Tacoma. I see Buffalo, Las Vegas, ATL. Represent. BX is in the building. New Jersey, Las Vegas, Seattle, Chicago, Cincinnati, Inglewood, Arizona, all the way up. Louisiana was happening, baby. Alexandria, Philadelphia, DC, Midwest, West Coast, East Coast, all in the building. There it is, y'all. Here we go. Fam, boy, them Democrats got them shook against the ropes right now. Y'all see how mad they are? Look how mad they are, fam. If they ain't mad, they upset. If they ain't upset, they embarrassed. Oh, my God. Because guess what happened, y'all? The Supreme Court done came back, and the Supreme Court done told these people, you can no longer just get votes from black Americans just because. You feel me? And that's what it's really about. They can say they assaulting black rights. They assaulting black America. The only people who've been disrespecting foundational black America on the political landscape is these 2 parties who don't do nothing. But see, one party gets our vote and it is playing in front of our face. And they like to use Jim Crow and black codes and slavery and unalivings by the police to get us to go vote for them, but we ain't doing it no more. Generational shift. That's what's happening, brothers and sisters. There's a generational shift where out with the old, in with the new. The grassroots controls foundational black America. Black Alpha been telling everybody. I've been letting the world know we are no longer controlled by the boule, by the sellouts, by the tap dancers, by all them COONs and friends. Y'all tell me, is there a lie there? No lies detected. When them individuals right there control your community, you get nothing. But when them certifieds control your community, you get everything. So the streets are talking like us because we are the streets. And we gonna go to the streets. Certified salute to the family. Let's go.
Man, everybody got their panties in a bunch because this voters' right that the Supreme Court just did. Man, I don't give a fuck about that, man. Because I'm not voting in none of these elections anyway. I'll be like, you need to vote so you get... Man, look, these people gonna do what the fuck they want to do anyway. The only way some shit gonna change is by force. You feel what I'm saying? Power is taken, not given, man. And y'all gotta understand that shit, man. So I don't feel no way about it, man. I'm not voting. Y'all.
Since when did y'all vote Madam? Y'all worrying about us losing the right to vote. My whole time, the Democrats been appeasing us, giving us all type of promises, and they never did good on not one single promise. So y'all keep voting these demonic ass lying people into office because they giving y'all promises and they not following through with them. So what just happened is basically gonna make it so that they can't do that no more. You should thank them for that. Think about it.
You can't do that no more. The traditional Democrat, the vote blue no matter who, the y'all simple Simons, beep, 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 beep. Them days is done. Now you're going to have to come with some tangibles. And the streets agree with us. Now what?
Like, when was the last time our vote mattered? It don't matter who we vote for. Nobody really give a f about us. Like, let's be honest. Like, the Republicans or Democrats, like, but the Democrats, it's for the greater good of everybody else but Americans. How do y'all not see it? They promise y'all the world and give the immigrants exactly what they promised. The amount of money we've given everybody else, that can pretty much account for reparations. They not finna have much power soon, bro. And rightfully so. Look at Brandon Johnson in Chicago. Look at J.B. Prick, the Prickster, in Illinois. Look at Tim Walz. Bro, all these Democratic people are pro everybody but America.
Trying to do here is the same thing that was done in the South for decades to prevent people of color from voting.
See, this is where my righteous anger pop up because I know what he's saying is a lie. I live in the South. I've been living in the South my whole life on the Gulf Coast. I go to vote every single time there's an election. And guess what? I show my ID. I write my signature. They check to make sure who I am. I go vote. No problems. Nobody asking me any questions. Nobody making me count the jelly beans in the jar. And quit lumping us in the people of color category. We're Black Americans. And we are citizens, and nobody is taking away our right to vote. What they are doing is they're using Black people, going back in the past, provoking emotional manipulation, because they know if they say Jim Crow or slavery, Black people are going to be like, oh my God, he's right. They're coming against us. This has nothing to do with you, Black people. Wake up. People of color he talking about is illegal migrants. They don't have IDs. That's their new voting base. Letting these people use you. I've been having an ID since I was 15 years old. I'm 50 years old. Every Black person I know has an ID. You need an ID to drive. You need an ID to go into a club. You need an ID to fly on a plane. You need an ID to go into another country. You need an ID to buy liquor. You need an ID to buy cigarettes. I don't know any Black person without an ID. Even the poorest of the poor Black people have an ID. JJ down the street that dig in the trash can that I by, and he always bothering me about a little bit of money. And when I feeling a little giving, I give him $5. Guess what he do? He go straight into the liquor store and go buy him some liquor. But before he do, he present his ID. So even the homeless man got an ID.
Even the homeless man got an ID. Even the homeless man got an ID. Fam, they been telling us we ain't got IDs, birth certificates, we ain't got a car, we ain't got a bike, we ain't got tennis shoes. We got it all. And we ain't falling for it. Listen to how Black Americans ain't falling for the Democrats. Think yourself, grassroots. You are the reason that everybody's talking like this, because you have signal boosted all of our messages. You are the ones controlling the narrative. The boule can't just lie on our names no more. So if they running around here talking about we ain't got an ID, but yet we all got IDs, well, guess what? They ain't gonna have no votes. And I'm going to sit at the couch and I'm not doing nothing.
Black people, y'all can keep letting these liberals play in y'all face. But Malcolm X warned y'all about these people. They're using you. This is about getting illegal migrants to vote. They don't have an ID. So they don't want any questions whenever they walk in there. They are the Democratic Party new voting base. They are the new slave.
For instance,
there you go. Let them have their Democrats. Let them have their illegals. We don't want none of that. No way. Anyway, family, it's safe to say right now, we're going to go ahead and say it, fam. You're seeing right now the end of vote blue no matter who. And it was going to happen either through time or through force. That's what's going to happen. Listen to what everybody's saying. I thought that they was running around here talking about we need to vote or we was going to be in shackles. Remember that, fam? Y'all was going to be back in chains. Remember all that, family? I'm hearing your average, everyday, hardworking Black American woman and man and child out here, because our kids work too, okay? And they put in work too. Our family is telling everybody, yo, voting for nothing is done. Voting for nothing and getting nothing ain't the way to go. And we done pulled all those plugs out the wall, y'all. So now what they gonna do? Not a damn thing. Vote blue no matter who done came to an end. And the Supreme Court decision now is making it that way. See, the reason why they're upset, y'all, now they got to go get our vote. They got to go earn our vote. You can't just have somebody who's been voting blue for 100 years. That old class of outdated people is over with. Now the new wave is coming in. And remember, here's the difference, fam. The new wave doesn't have an age group. It's up here. So if you certified and you in your 70s, your 80s, you in your 90s, you could be 100, a real certified 100. And you saying F the Democrats and F what they talking about, you are a winner. And we are the winners. And it's all coming to an end. You're going to have to go out there, fam. We said tangibles. Now they're forced to have to give us tangibles. Or we just not going to vote. We said we're not going to vote until we get paid. Hell, I just told that to Kamala Harris personally and pointed at her just 2 weeks ago. So we really saying it, fam. I'm somebody who genuinely told the ex-vice president that we ain't vote till we get paid. So if that's the case, and now you're seeing everybody out here in the street saying the same thing, this is why they're afraid, fam. I told you it was going to be time, it was going to be by force, or it's going to be by the Supreme Court, and it's happening. And when we talk about things happening, and we speak about these individuals and how they come up with everything, they talk about IDs, right? You got to have an ID, an ID, an ID. Fam, what do they really mean by ID? Let's go there, fam. I'm going to say something I've never heard anybody say, but I say a lot of things people don't say. Does ID mean identification, or does it mean immigrant and Democrats? Oh, that's the ID they really talking about. The whole time they've been talking about an ID, they can't be talking about identification, because even a homeless person got it. Even our children have it. The whole time they've been talking about ID, they're really talking about immigrants and Democrats. They've been playing in your face. Illegals and Democrats. They've been playing in your face. That's what they mean by ID. And what do we mean by vote couch? That means popcorn popping, sitting down, chilling, and watching the Democrats crash and burn. That's what it's hitting for. Family, and look how upset they are. Oh, man, family, look how angry they are. They crying, they battered, and they just the same old Democratic shields. Watch this.
Hello, black people. Are you guys awake yet? Are you guys awake? Y'all talking about Klay Thompson and raggedy ass. I don't even know the man's name no more. He's annoying. The football player and Cardi. As of yesterday, Louisiana just lost their right to vote. Are you guys awake yet? Oh, because they're trying to take us back to slavery. Are we not waking up? Are we not? Like, what are we doing?
We didn't lose our right to vote. Fam, y'all see how they trying to spin that? We lost our right to vote. We didn't lose our right to vote. They lost their right to try to district things so they can get them old, outdated Negroes. Y'all see how they trying to spin it? And did she say we gonna go back to slavery? I'm pretty sure she said that. You took yourself back to slavery with them shackles you call nose rings. This woman got nose ring shackles, y'all. She got chains on her nostrils. That's the only slavery I'm seeing, because it damn sure ain't us. We living great.
Oh, because they're trying to take us back to slavery. Are we not waking up? Are we not? Like, what are we doing? We're talking about all the wrong things, bro. They are taking our right to vote. Y'all not irate enough for me about the right stuff, bro. It's weird. Especially the grown folks, too. I'm seeing a lot of the younger folks more in tune with what's going on, and older folks just being weird and in gossip. Like, they're still...
Somebody said her lipstick is musty. I never seen lipstick that came as ashy. She got ashy lipstick. She got shackles on her nostrils. No wonder she ain't got a clue either. She's in there saying, what we gonna do? Y'all's not irates enough. No, we don't care. That's what it is. This is somebody who ain't got the memo, y'all. And I'm wondering, is this a tether? Is this a tethercrat? She's trying to cover up the forehead and hairline with a bonnet, y'all. I'm just saying, fam. She trying to cover up the forehead with a bonnet. I'm starting to think with the musty lipstick that came as ash and with the shackles on her nose and covering up that forehead. And she also has the oversized glasses, the Coke bottles. I don't know. She's looking real gaggler right now. All right. So when you see gaggler and you see the shackles, you're seeing the shield and they ain't got nothing.
Teenagers, but that's not why I'm here. I'm here to inform you guys that they are infringing on our rights once again. And what are we going to do about it? What are we going to do? Because I done had enough. I'm over it.
Fam, is this Marquise? I'm just going there, fam. I'm getting Marquise vibes from this. I thought for a minute this was Michelle. I'm starting to see now this might be Marquise. I don't know. Fam, they be wearing costumes, fam. You know what I'm saying? You got ashy lipstick. You got shackles on your nostrils. You got Coke bottles, a bonnet. Can I see you? I'm not going to classify this as Michelle yet. This is Marquise until further notice. Just keeping it real. And Marquise ain't got a plan. What we going to do? No, go get the illegals. What you going to do? Go get all the migrants. Go protest against ICE. I thought that's what y'all wanted. Fam, they're telling you they don't have a plan.
But I don't know. I can't believe this. I'm so shocked. I wonder who's next, unfortunately. I wonder what city or state is next.
The next thing. Who's next? Who's next? I'm going to tell you what's next. What's next is that the Democratic Party is about to completely crash out. That's what's next. Vote blue no matter who is completely gone, and the Democratic plantation is completely canceled. That's what's next. Fam, they ain't got a plan. There's no plan. Listen to her. She's sitting there saying, well, what do we do next? I thought they all said they had a plan. That's what they was telling us, fam. They told us that they all had a plan. They knew what was happening. They knew what was going down. Do y'all notice every time you see them talking, they're always talking about what we gonna do, what's the next step, what's the plan? Look how they talk and look how we talk. Y'all notice how we talk, fam? We talk straight up. The plan is reparations. The plan is tangibles. The plan is to get our money. The plan is to get paid. You notice the confidence in the agenda and the direct exclusiveness that we have versus the uncertainty that they have. If you want to see a winner and a loser, just judge those two different energies, fam. We have the energy of winners with a plan, and they have the energy of losers with no plan. If you're just judging it off of frequency, family, we got these folks KO'd, knocked out. And that's exactly what it should be. And family, when I tell everybody that's exactly what it should be, let's go down the street, fam. We're going all the way in. We coming in hot right now. Yes, indeed. Family, I personally told Kamala Harris, cash payment reparations. We demand cash payment reparations. Yes, the hell I did. And one of the main things that I told Kamala, I said, you're not going to take our ancestors' legacy and give that money to illegal immigrants. And all the Democratic shields was mad. They was upset. They sent out every fruit cup they can find. They was pulling fruit cups out the dumpster. And I threw their ass right on back in the dumpster where they belong. But guess what ended up happening? Right after Black Alpha said that, I'm telling y'all, fam, we be on point, on game, sharper than ever. I told Kamala Harris she wasn't going to steal from foundational Black Americans. I said on behalf of foundational Black Americans, she wasn't going to play them games with us and try to flip the money to illegals. Family, do you know right after Black Alpha said that, guess what Kamala did? She went home and she released this statement. Y'all look at this. Today's Supreme Court ruling guts the Voting Rights Act and turns back the clock on the foundational promise of equity and fairness in our election systems. What? Foundational? Who said that we was just online? Who said they wasn't hearing us? Who said that Kamala Harris didn't see Black Alpha? She not only seen Black Alpha, she heard Black Alpha, and she's afraid of Black Alpha. And I got 50 million certified FBA with me, and we all riding together. Damn right. Foundational promise of equity. Now they want to use foundational, right? And then she tries to follow suit It says Section 2 of the Voting Rights Act was one of the last remaining federal protections for black and brown voters. Now y'all see why I stood up and checked her? Now you see why I said you ain't gonna give our ancestors' legacy to illegal immigrants so y'all can take our money? This is why you pull up, brothers and sisters. This is why you G-check, brothers and sisters. This is why if you see a Democrat, point them out, because they was going to try to play this. See, she would have said African-American a couple years ago. So she said, oh, let me just say foundational, because, you know, that's what that black man in the audience said. But here's the thing. This black man right here and all the black brothers and sisters out there, they know what you're trying to do, and we shutting it down because you ain't slick. You better try another one. Take foundational out. Just take this foundational black American G-checking, sit down and enjoy that damn liquor you got and them collard greens out the bathtub. And this is exactly why I regulated her, because she tried to spin and went right on back to the black and brown. Yep. And you're going to go right on back to the unemployment office. They say, well, Kamala ain't got no power. We know Kamala ain't got no power because we're the ones who made her powerless. Tell me something I don't know. All right. But I'm going to tell them something that they better understand. They better recognize. They better call somebody. Foundational black Americans ain't allowing our legacy to be handed off to all these illegal immigrants. And that's what the Democrats been doing. And since that's what the Democrats been doing, then the Democrats going to have to lay in that damn bed. And that's exactly where we put them. And they going to stay asleep. And foundational black Americans, we up, never looking down. Yeah, this is why we pulled up. That's why I checked Kamala, because of that energy right there. But this energy right here can never be distinguished. This energy right here can never be separated from the crowd. This energy right here can never take a step back. We only going forward, no F's given, no shorts, no losses, and it's still the first of the month, baby, and we just getting cooking. Let's go back to the streets, family, as if we weren't already in them damn streets. When they seen this right here, and then they seen that right there, they automatically knew something was going down where those foundational black Americans made it happen. You damn right we made it happen. And since we made it happen out here in these streets, family, now they're saying we can't get the illegals. FBA's not voting for us. What we gonna do now? I'm gonna tell you what you're gonna do now. You're gonna sit down and stay down.
News: the Supreme Court has ruled to limit the Voting Rights Act. The case focused on whether states can use race and consider race when redrawing congressional maps. Now the decision could reduce the influence of minority voters, and questions are growing about what it will mean for the future of voting in America. ABC News legal contributor James Sample and ABC's Devin Dwyer are here to break it all down. James, the court ruled 6-3 here in favor of the voters who challenged adding this second majority black congressional district. So how did the court reach this decision?
Well, Diane, you're right in the sense that that is what they decided. And they decided this case 6-3. And what they essentially said is that although Louisiana had drawn that second district to comply with the Voting Rights Act under the prior interpretations of the Voting Rights Act that have been in place for more or less 60 years, the Voting Rights Act now effectively requires proof of intentional discrimination, not merely what is known as disparate impact discrimination. And therefore, since there wasn't evidence of that intentional racial discrimination, that second majority minority district violates the Section 2 of the Voting Rights Act, the net effect of which is to take the Voting Rights Act and turn it from a weapon against racial discrimination into a much, much less significant version of its prior self.
And James, walk us through that part of it. Why does this do so much to disempower the Voting Rights Act?
Well, what the court did here, Diane, and this was an anticipated ruling, to be clear, this has long been in the sights of Chief Justice Roberts, who, as far back as when he was an attorney in the White House counsel's office in the Reagan administration, long before becoming a judge, much less the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court, the court here today effectively constitutionalizes a color blindness principle almost completely, absent the showing of...
Yep. What's race got to do with it? What's race got to do with it, family? We standing on certified business for foundational black American lineage. Notice, family, the reason why they're so battered is because lineage is whooping them up right now. If they played race, y'all, this allows them to throw in all these people of colors, people of others, people's grandmothers, people who weren't here. Now what we're doing, family, is we're making this about lineage. So they can't pivot and try to slide in all these other communities. They can't pivot and try to slide in all these immigrants. And the $1 million, $1 billion, $1 trillion question becomes, if this is how you feel, then why aren't the blacks and browns out there doing anything? Yeah, where's the black and brown coalition? Where's Ashley Gonzalez at? I thought that was your people. Notice, fam, you don't see any Hispanics out there protesting this, but they like to throw around black and brown. Now it's about us. It's all about what we're doing. This act being gutted, as they say, is only going to make the Democrats more scarce. And they're only going to have to do things for foundational black Americans every single time we tell them to. That's what this was, family. Because let's go there. Notice this, y'all. Black Americans aren't afraid of this. Democrats are afraid of this. The Democrats always take things that they're scared of and try to make us scared of them so we can come and save them. Right now, they waving every flag they can find, y'all. They're trying to get every black person to come and save them. This disrupts the Democratic Party, not only locally, but nationally. Locally, it messes them up because people can't just come around and say things like, vote blue no matter who for 60 years and not give us anything. So that freezes them out there. And then they're going to start to lose seats, where now the Republicans are going to take over and them seats that they were just getting for free. The only, and I mean only, way around this for the Democrats is to do something for black Americans. So the lines have been drawn in the sand. We know what it is. Damn all your excuses and your lies and your fear tactics and your fear mongering. That don't work. Because I'm looking around and the only people I see scared of them. Ain't it something, y'all? The fear tactics that they're using on black Americans are the fear tactics that got them scared. You've been trying to scare me, but you scared yourself. You've been trying to fear monger us, but you fear mongered your own political party. Y'all see how it backfired? It completely backfired. This Voter Rights Act being cut up, redistricted, and gerrymandered, it don't scare black Americans. It only scares the Democratic Party. We walking around here good. Certified foundational black Americans, we still stepping, big steppers. The Democrats right now are the ones sweating. The Democrats are the ones right now crying. The Democrats are the ones right now affected. They can try to tell us we're going to be affected by this, but guess what else they told us? They told us we'd be affected by getting deported. You can't deport us. They told us we'd be affected by not having an ID card. We all got ID cards. They told us we'd be affected by Donald Trump bringing back slavery. And you ain't did none of that because you can't do none of that because we ain't standing for none of that. So every single thing they told us we'd be affected by is really affecting them. And we knew this the whole time. Black Americans aren't surprised. Black Americans multiply. You see where I'm coming from with it, family? So they're the ones who are really upset. Everything's backfiring. This was a horrible day for them, a horrible day. And they knew this was coming. This is why they went so hell-bent on trying to get the illegals to vote. That's why, fam. This is why they wanted the illegals to vote so bad, because they knew this was going to happen and they knew they weren't going to be able to pull the wool over black Americans' eyes. So therefore they said, let's go get the illegals. Let's go get the illegals. Yep. Now I say this simply, fam, and I say this all the time. You go get the illegals to get you out of this one. How about that? I want the Democrats to go get the illegals and let the illegals get you out of this. Let the illegals save you. The same illegals that you put above Americans, the same illegals that you give millions of dollars to on and off the books, let them same illegal immigrants be the ones who save the Democrats, because black Americans aren't. You're not going to scare us. We ain't never scared. You're not going to hit us with no fear. We don't live in fear. We right here. So go get Julio, Romero, Benavidez, Gonzalez. How about you go get Ashley Gonzalez to go save you? Because black Americans told you what was going to happen, and don't be mad because it all came true. Family, another thing they've been doing, and I'm telling y'all, oh, enjoy the show, fam, because we're about to go down. These folks is out there saying, well, I want white folks to come and save us. Stockholm Syndrome. Look at this Stockholm Syndrome I'm talking about, y'all. These folks ain't got a plan and ain't got a pot to piss in and ain't got a window to throw it out. Look at this scared guy. He's scared sideways. Good.
I'm just going to start making videos for white people. I'm not going to make any more videos for black people because I need white people to get out and vote who are tired of this regime, who are tired of everything Donald Trump is doing in office, this whole regime, the Republicans, everybody, the GOP in general. I'm talking to y'all white people. Black people, I'm not talking to y'all about voting no more, because with the decision the Supreme Court just made today about the voting rights, and if you don't feel like there's any urgency for you to vote. There's no need of nobody talking. All my friends for 30 years, some of them talking about, yeah, the vote, it ain't gonna matter, it ain't gonna count. My vote ain't gonna do nothing for nobody. Them politicians, they ain't gonna do shit for me either way. My vote ain't gonna do nothing for nobody. Them politicians, they ain't gonna do shit for me either way. All right, then, I ain't talking to y'all. Don't vote then.
He giving up on his friends. He having friend troubles. Y'all see how delineation's working? He said, all my friends that I've been friends with for 59 years, and y'all saying y'all not gonna vote. Even his friends saying they not gonna vote. Not to mention the other Black Americans I showed you previously said they not gonna vote. Y'all see how foundational Black American grassroots narratives are dominating? You didn't see this a couple years ago, family. This man out here, yeah, you ain't like he mush-mouthing it up. He out here saying his friends is telling him, fam, they're all being swept up in this delineation. They're all being swept up in this, we don't give a damn, we ain't saving the Democrats. So he's sitting here having friend problems. This man's out here having job problems. I know he doesn't have woman problems because he ain't got a woman to have them. And you typically see that with the Democrats. He probably got man problems, though, because you know they love the fruity cups. However, either way, he having problems. And the problems is going to stay there. They shook.
Just stay in the same condition you are right now. Poor, pathetic, and fucking disgusting. So white people.
Damn, did you just say that about your friends? He turned it on his buddies. Y'all is disgusting. That ain't a friend to me. And guess what? Them W's do you think you gonna run to? Them are the W's who got you in this position. So again, you ain't got nowhere to go. Mush mouth.
I need y'all to get out and vote like y'all did for Obama, the ones who did. I need y'all to get out and vote like y'all did for Obama in 2007. And I need the white people who tired of this regime and who feel like this whole GOP is not doing anything for you to get out and vote like you voted for who? Reagan or something. Yeah, Reagan. I need you white people to get out and vote like you voted. Like you voted for who?
This man don't even know what he's saying. He can't get his words out. The way you the one time with the guy he can't even get his words right. These folks can't get their words right, can't get their mind right, ain't got no agenda, no plan. They melting down, they breaking down. He don't even know which president he's talking about. And Ronald Reagan was a Republican. So he don't know what the hell he's saying. Look at he guessing. Trick you guessing. He out here guessing the way you did and the way you that one person family. This man has no idea what he's talking about. We done whooped these Democrats up so bad, family. They in here playing the guessing game. Easy work. FBA always wins.
Voted. Like you voted for who? For who? Reagan or something.
This ain't Jeopardy, homeboy. Spit it out, mush mouth.
Yeah, Reagan. I need you white people to get out and vote.
I need you to be quiet, stay in the house, because you embarrassing yourself, partner. There they go. There they go. There they go. There they go. We say it's going to happen. It happens. We say we got receipts. They show. We show everybody that they have nowhere to go, family. And this is what happens when you invest in illegals. Illegals who, by the way, go vote for the Republican Party. See, the Democrats are in a position right now where they want to put all their cards on the table of illegals. All right. And this is why dudes just guessing. You know that the vote who? No, Reagan. Yeah, him. No. Yeah. You don't know what the hell you talking about. And guess what, family? For every one of him, there's a million more Democrats. And they all got tears, family. They all upset. Have y'all seen the tethers lately? The tether's been hiding. When's the last time you really seen a tether, y'all? Y'all notice that? Have the tethers been real hush-hush? I ain't really heard too much from tethers. You know why? Because they hiding right now. Tethers are hiding from deportation. Tethers are hiding from Tom Homan personally. And tethers are hiding because their protection is gone. They don't have anybody to help them. You name anybody who's came towards foundational Black Americans, and I'm going to tell you, you're going to find somebody who's in ruins. And you can point to us because we're the ones who did it. This Supreme Court ruling was phenomenal for us because it goes along with what we're talking about. It goes along with these people don't do nothing for us anyway, so therefore we ain't gonna do nothing for them. Let me tell you something, fam. It ain't about what Black Americans owe the Democrats. It's about what they owe us. And let me tell you something. They've owed us so long, now they owe us an interest. And if they ain't cutting no damn check, I'm going to sit on that couch with interest, which means a couple more years, a couple more days, a couple more months, okay, until you cut the check. I need to hear some cash registers. I need to hear the bank teller. If I don't hear none of that, then you ain't got my attention. And we've made it plain. Like Brother Malcolm said, we made it plain. We tell them what they need to do. So the fact that they can't do it or not willing to do it, there it is. You're just going to lose. You're going to continue to lose every single election, and I don't give a damn. And I'm out here enjoying it. But family, man, they done sent out all the shills. Family, think about who the Democratic Party's block and voter base is. Think about that, y'all. The Democrats had Black Americans voting for them for 60 years, the most loyal voter base. It ain't about what we owe them. It's what they owe us. Family, I'm sorry. When grandma is outside in the cold in Chicago in November, pulling that lever, voting for you, you owe grandma. And if you do not give it to grandma, then me and you gonna have a problem. And we carrying it out. This is why you seeing Black Americans of all ilk coming and saying, we ain't rocking with the Democratic Party. They owe us. I don't know where it turned into we owe them. See, this is the difference between this generation, this era, and anything before us, family. Now we're approaching them with, you give us the money. Listen to what we say. We demand cash payment reparations. No check, no vote. Cut the check. Dr. Martin Luther King told them in the 60s, we coming to get our check. So do you see the mentality, fam? Do you see the mentality when we go to them and tell them they owe us, opposed to us thinking we owe them? It's always been we owe them to give them our vote, give them our time, give them our loyalty. What the F we got for that? Now we done turn to tide. Now it's what you gonna give me, and they can't handle Black Americans telling them to give us something. That's what they can't handle. And they sending out every single person. So fam, guess what they are? FBA, reparations. Now, yes, indeed. Cut the check. Yes, indeed. Look at what my brothers and sisters are saying right now. Listen to everybody talking right now. Nobody is talking that Democratic babble. But since we put that on the line, family, who are their voter base? Illegal immigrants who love voting for the Republicans. We'll vote for Donald Trump. Remember that, family? And there's also the Skittles bag community. Oh, yeah. The Skittles bag community, family, they essentially fumbled the bag with Black Americans. All you had to do was give Black Americans tangibles. We made it clear. We made it plain. Give us tangibles. And they decided that they didn't want to give us tangibles. You lost the heart and soul of America. You lost the heart and soul of this country. I said it in Hidden Colors. You guys seen the previews. I said everyone knows that we are the cornerstone of America. We are the ones who breathe light into America. You had that voting for you, and you decided no, you'd rather give tangibles to Skittles. You'd rather give tangibles to Starburst. And family, if that's what you want to do, then you're going to have to live with it. Family, they said they'd rather go to that community. And do you know, they sent out somebody from another community that's out here trying to tell Black Americans what we need to do. Fam, now the TS community is out here. Guess what? They done sent out the TS community to blame us. Y'all look at this right here. Y'all look at this right here. I want everybody to say what's up or say get away from me to TS Bob, okay? Or TS Jerome or TS whatever the hell you are. A lot of Black people was okay with discrimination when it was only transgenders and immigrants experiencing it. Now they done send out the fruit cups to come at Black Americans. Watch this, y'all.
Our country right now is how they gutting the Voting Rights Act. When I say this point in time in this country right now shows how white privilege and racism consistently prevails over time. History constantly repeats itself. See, because for the past 15 months, we've been seeing all of the wrongdoings from this new administration. Then we see Caucasian people get hurt and placed in the fire because a lot of African American people are staying out of the mix. Even during a time where, because just like me, I believe a lot of African American people, they are tapped out politically when it comes to this country right now. I'm not sure if this resonates with you, but these past few weeks has been so tough politically that I have checked out, like, completely.
You also checked out from being a man too, huh? But you can't check out of that one. Fam, they're sending the starbursts. I'm talking about the extra starburst at us. Now, these people are blaming Black Americans. They done sent out the TS to blame us. You can't make this up. This is your voter block, Democrats. This is who you wanted. This is who Barack Obama gave all the benefits to. Y'all gonna have to stay there now. Oh yeah, family. This is the way they wanted to go, so this is how it's gonna be. They sending out these people now.
From me checking out completely, I have not been keeping up to date with what is going on politically, because all I know in my mind is I need to get the word out there. So I automatically share whatever post that I see, especially when it comes to people like Aaron. But seeing them gut the Voting Rights Act and seeing people 15 months ago talk and complain about DEI and saying how it was such a bad thing because it was basic discrimination on white people because they was hiring African-American people and people of color for simple things as if like having lived experience.
I know you ain't talking about lived experience. I know you ain't talking about it. You ain't even living your truth.
Me to not be able to sympathize with that, especially when I'm African-American. The stuff that we see going on in our country right now, this is not normal. Like, y'all, this is not normal. Can they wake us up?
Not normal? I know you ain't talking about not normal.
Are we in a dream? Like, is Obama still not president? Like, I thought Obama was president. I thought he was president forever. Our country right now.
Wait, fam, you think it's a surprise that this person done name dropped the rainbow and Chief Obama? There you knew an Obama reference was coming. You knew this thing was going to bring up Obama.
This is normal. And I know history repeats itself, and I know this is not our first time possibly going through something like this. Our ancestors went through it. But I just never thought that we would be at a time right now where this is going on.
Nah, don't bring up the ancestors. Nah, my ancestors and your ancestors different. No. My ancestors that should wear dresses wore dresses, not the ones that need to have on tank tops and high heels.
And me personally, I'm in a place between, a tough place and a hard rock, because
what?
The ignorance of me want to say, well, that's what Black people get, because the ignorance of me want to say, well, that's what Black people get, because a lot of Black people wanted these issues to be pushed onto transgender and immigrant people. But it's hard for me to not be able to sympathize with that, especially when I'm African American.
Yep, and you Rainbow American too. And you RuPaul American, and you don't speak for us. Y'all see what I'm talking about? Look at this, family. They sending out everybody. Trust me, y'all. They're all upset. Notice, the people that the Democrats have been doing everything for are the main people who are upset at us because we're not allowing the Democrats to do all those things for them. They done sent out Drew Paul. I'm just saying, family. I'm just being honest, y'all. They sent out Drew Paul. Drew Paul, no. Call Obama on the phone. I'm sure you can get up with Obama. I'm sure Michelle Obama. I'm sure the Obamas can help you, but FBA standing over here. Take that up with them. That's their voter block, fam. That's the ones they love so much. So do you see the game, fam? They sending out everybody, y'all. Everybody. But again, how come his community doesn't go out there and go do something about it? Why we got to do something? How about your community goes out there and does something, and my community is doing good, and we just going to sit here, stand here, and do our damn thing? And family, if it wasn't bad already, they done sent out the Starburst, the Skittles bag, the Fruit Cups, and the Drew Pauls. And now they done sent out the Oompa Loompas. Fam, the damn Oompa Loompas is mad. Okay? They out there Oompa Loompa. They out there mad as hell. Plaz, please. When Plaz ain't getting slammed off stage and hiding in bathrooms, fam, he's even upset. Watch it.
It's 2026. and y'all still fucking with about fucking voting. Y'all don't think y'all done fuck with us enough, bro? It's 2000. Y'all ain't got shit else to do but still fuck with about fucking voting, man. Don't y'all think y'all done fuck with us enough, bro? Don't y'all think y'all done caused enough money, huh? Why can't y'all leave us the fuck alone? What? 2026 and y'all still playing games about black people fucking voting, bro. 2026. Niggas still dealing with this. Why the fuck y'all hate us so much, bro? What the fuck have we done to y'all besides be amazing people? Is it jealous? What the fuck is it?
He mad, y'all. Hey, remember when he was talking all that cash money? Look at him, fam. Everybody's mad.
We don't even fuck with y'all like this, bro. Why the fuck y'all so scared of us? $2,026 and y'all still with black people, man. Go find something fucking do, bro.
His voice cracking. Look, fam, is he getting teary-eyed? He look like he about to cry. Don't get somebody. Somebody help, man. Where's it gonna be? I thought you was a goon. Now he the bathroom goon. Because when the West Coast boys pressed you, you hid in the bathroom. Underneath the damn toilet in the stall. Stop playing.
Go find something fucking do, bro. It take a nasty motherfucker, boy, to still in 2026 to still be with us. That's a different level of nasty. It's 2000 and
damn. Y'all see what we be doing? Tell me you ain't seen a bunch of broke Democrats. Tell me, family, you ain't seen a bunch of broke Democrats. They broke. They broken, y'all. And we've been saying it. And guess what, y'all? It's only getting bigger. And every time we sit here and have a conversation, it gets worse for them, y'all. And this right here was monumental, though. This one right here, broken fam. Starburst community, they invested in. Let them go save you. The illegals, they invested in them. Let them go save you. The Oompa Loompas like Plaz, you invested in them. So let them go save you. Don't come running to the grassroots. See, what everybody's realizing now is that the grassroots yields all the power. The grassroots has all the control. We've been telling everybody they ain't want to hear it. They want to call us names. But like we told y'all, they was doing that out of fear, out of desperation. I see desperation in them. Every time they run their mouth, every time they complain, they gripe, they get upset. That was only because they're scared. Why you think they were so mad at Black Alpha when I checked Kamala, y'all? If they felt they had it their way, they wouldn't have said nothing. The fact is that they were afraid because we're out here putting it down and we're completing this generational shift. It's a shift right now, fam. All the power that the Boule was given, the grassroots has taken. And we done took it all the way back and there ain't nothing they can do about it, y'all. I'm loving the vibrations. And I'm telling you right now, they are literally out here about to cry. These people are in tears, fam. They're sitting there talking all this talk, complaining because they don't know where to go other than the unemployment line. The unemployment line is getting closer and closer and closer. And that's good because the end is getting closer. Look at this right here, fam. This man out here. Watch this man. He's about to cry. He's about to cry. Who is this guy? I don't even know who this dude is, fam. Y'all let me know if y'all know who this dude is. Because you know, if you see one Democratic shield, you done seen them all. So this dude right here was running his mouth and he's about to cry. And the W woman is damn near trying to console him. I'm not lying, y'all. The W woman is like, are you okay? Let's watch this, fam.
I'm trying to keep myself calm here, Nicole.
Why?
Because I'm really upset. Because I'm really upset. Really upset.
He's upset.
You get tired of people playing fast and loose.
He's about to cry. I'm upset, Nicole. Why? I'm really upset. Them damn black Americans in the grassroots, they gonna be responsible for why I can't pay my car payment, my house payment, my mortgage is done, no lights on, my boyfriend left him, and now them FBAs is laughing. You need to be laughing at that hairline is what you need to be laughing at, because we laughing to the bank.
Nicole.
Why?
Because I'm really upset. Because I'm really upset. Really upset.
That's okay.
You get tired of people playing fast and loose with your dead.
Mm-hmm.
And it was triggered by Obama. You know how many dead people are in the bottom of rivers in Mississippi because they tried to vote?
Mm-hmm.
How many dead folk, right? Folk who have wounds because of this. And here we are in this moment in the country's history, and we have to deal with this again. You see what I mean? So you think about the glorious revolution, our glorious revolution that produced the Constitution, the courts restrained it, limited. Dred Scott doesn't extend to us. You think about the Civil War, left 600,000 plus dead. Get the Reconstruction Amendments. We finally look like we're going to try to become a democracy. What do we get? The courts. Slaughterhouse cases. Reduces it. Rolls it back. And now here we are. We've only been a democracy since 1965. Barely then. 15 years later, Reagan is elected, Mobile decision happens, right? Roberts begins his career right there. And so here we are. It's exhausting. And so, yes, we have to get together. Yes, we have to mobilize.
Exhausting? Family, certifieds, are y'all exhausted right now? Or are you energized? They're exhausted. Fam, listen what they said. They said they're scared, they're upset, they're exhausted. Roland Martin is sweating. Hell, he always sweating. He sweat when he breathes. But do you see what I'm talking about? Listen to their language. Listen to ours. Listen to their words. Listen to what we saying. It is evidently clear. The facts have rolled in, y'all. It's stamped, signed, sealed, and delivered. The Democrats and the Boule are exhausted. And FBA is stronger than ever. We win.
Yes, we have to organize, but these people play fast and loose with our dead. They play fast and loose with our sacrifices. They think they own freedom.
No.
They can give it to us. And
No. The Democrats play with our DEAD. Don't play them games, homeboy. I'm not going to sit there and have you try to dump that off on the Republicans. The Republicans don't run around here and always bring up the past, bring up what happened to us. Don't sit there and play that game. Nobody plays that more than the Democratic Party. Black American pain and suffering and struggle is literally the Democrats' campaign initiative. Don't play them games, and don't talk about they think they own freedom. The Democrats act like they own our lineage. So no. The days of them using that to reject and project on the other communities, no, you gonna have to hold this one. Hell no. You're the ones who put Breonna Taylor on a vote blue no matter who. George Floyd on a vote blue no matter who. Hell no. They always do this, and now they ain't got no black folks that they can use to get votes. That's what's happening.
take it away whenever they want, and they think we're just supposed to sit here and take this, right? So first of all, I'm just going to express my rage at this decision. And then the second thing we need to do, of course, is to get about the hard work of trying to salvage this democracy as we've done since the moment we've been on these shores.
Where does the first part of it end and the second part begin?
Watch this, family. Watch this. I'm about to show you how the Democrats talk out of both sides of their neck. Watch this.
The first part of it ends when we admit, honestly, that racism still occupies the throne of this country. The first part of it ends when we admit, honestly, that racism still occupies the throne of this country. There's nothing about our current days that lead us to believe, that should lead us to believe that we are in a post-racial world. There's nothing about our days. And then once we admit that, admit of our sins, then perhaps we open up a future for us to be otherwise. But the noble lie isn't noble at all. Racism still occupies the throne of this country.
I believe that we need to address, well, first of all, no, I don't think America is a racist country. I don't think America is a racist country. I don't think America is a racist country. I don't think America is a racist country.
Uh-oh. Did Black Alpha just put together a receipt? Did Black Alpha just drop the major receipt on the table? He said that America's racist. Kamala Harris said it's not a racist country. So damn, which one is it? That lets you know. You see the difference? When Donald Trump is in office and there's Republicans to blame, America's racist. But when Kamala Harris and the Democrats were in, America wasn't a racist country. It flip-flops according to when they got power. And we ain't gonna flip-flop to the voter box. We gonna sit on the couch. That part.
To believe that we are in a post-racial world. There's nothing about our days. And then once we admit that, admit of our sins, then perhaps we open up a future for us to be otherwise. But the noble lie isn't noble at all. Racism still occupies the throne of this country.
I believe that we need to address, well, first of all, no, I don't think America is a racist country. I don't think America is a racist country. I don't think America is a racist country. I don't think America is a racist country.
There you go.
I'm trying to keep my...
There it is. There it go, family. Look how they got caught live in living color. We caught them in 4K all day. That's what it is. See, what the Democrats do is that they use and they con Black Americans based on our struggle, based on our pain. There's nothing more anti-Black than taking Black Americans all the way back to slavery, go all the way through civil rights, go all the way through the 80s and the 90s, all the way up to Trayvon Martin, Breonna Taylor, and just yesterday. That is cold blood to use that pain and suffering in unalive people and to say it's the Republicans, but in reality, they're the ones who put our faces on their stickers. They're the ones who put our faces on their ads. They're the ones who say, if y'all don't vote for us, y'all going back in slavery. That right there is what it is. Nobody is more anti-Black than a Democrat because the Democrats' anti-Blackness comes as a friend. Malcolm X told everybody this back in the day. And the problem they have now, family, they don't have no unalive Black bodies to exploit. Yes. You want to see why the Democrats are struggling right now? You notice the Democrats are losing elections when there's not a Black person who's unalive that they can milk that situation. Notice that, y'all. And the reason why they don't do it is because every single time they did it, we called them out. Oh, there's beauty in calling this stuff out, family. There's beauty in G-checking it because we don't allow these individuals to make it look like everything that they say is true and everything we say is wrong. What we say goes because we FBA and we said so. See, the FBA and we said so era is powerful. That shuts down all lies, all cap, all games. We're not letting these people use any foundational Black American unalive person to get votes. And another reason why they don't do it, because we started calling out, what about all the Black Americans who are unalive by illegal immigrants? Uh-oh. Y'all notice how it stopped real quick? Notice how when the grassroots started to identify that they use Black Americans unlawfully, but a lot of those Black Americans are unalive by the illegals that they brought in here to our country. That's when they knocked it off. Soon as they couldn't do it no more, that's when they started to lose. See, they don't talk about all those illegals who unalive those Black American, including children and women. They don't talk about that. They'll sit there all damn day long and talk about a Black person who was unalive by a police officer, and then they'll give money to the police. Barack Obama gave them protections. Joe Biden said it's not about defunding the police, it's about funding the police. So think about this, fam. Literally, one summer they said that we need to get an anti-Black American hate crime protection. And then when they got into office, they said, nope, we're going to give that to the police officers. And then they flipped around and said, hey, we're going to take Black Americans' pain and suffering, and we're going to use that for votes. Soon as they got into office, they said, nah, we're going to give not only protections to these people, we're going to give them money as well. They always use what we go through, and no longer are we allowing it, fam. The power's always been within us. Just don't allow them to do it. Just don't allow them. Simple as that, fam. You don't allow them to do it, they can't do it. What you gonna do against Black Americans? Let me tell you something, fam. And I knew this since I was a kid. I was a little 5-year-old looking up at big grown-ass men getting snatched up and crying like Van Jones. And I said, just don't let them. Just don't let them. Just don't let them. And that 5-year-old grew up to be a grown-ass man. And now it's like, try us, fam. You're not going to use those games on us. Just don't let them, y'all. See, a lot of people don't remember. George Floyd's protest turned into a pro-Joe Biden protest. Yes. Breonna Taylor's protest turned into pro-Joe Biden. They were literally showing up at Breonna Taylor's protest wearing Joe Biden and Democrat shirts. No lie, we seen it, y'all. Now they can't do that no more because we're sitting there saying every time you bring up a Breonna Taylor, we're going to bring up that little young sister that was unalived by that illegal. What about that foundational Black American brother that was unalived by that illegal? You ain't saying nothing about that same energy from Ashley Gonzalez. See, we highlighted the fact that y'all love y'all some illegals and y'all will literally be silent when an illegal harms us. Ain't no love there. So that's why I tell people all the time, the Democrats are the worst of the worst. I like my anti-Blackness served cold, straight up and down. I like the anti-Blackness that the Republicans give because I can see that coming. I know both of them are anti-Black, so I'll take the one that's anti-Black straight up tells me, and then I can deal with him. I don't like the one that says, hey, I'm your friend. Hey, I'm your buddy. Hey, let's go to the Breonna Taylor protest. See, that's a level of deceit that Black Americans don't go for. We don't deal with fake MFers, and that's fake. And it takes a low down person to play them games and literally use what we deal with. They talk about slavery. Since you love slavery so much, then talk about slavery and reparations. Y'all notice that? Y'all notice that, right? Notice they'll bring up slavery when it comes to giving money to illegals. Then they want to talk slavery. Notice they'll bring up civil rights when it comes to giving money to illegals. Then they talk about civil rights. How come you don't talk about slavery and civil rights with reparations? Because that's what reparations is about. So you can draw the comparison and connect the dots from reparations for us and give it to everyone else, but you can't connect it to reparations and giving us the bag. Hell to the no. No sympathy for these people. I want all my Black American brothers and sisters continue to stand on certified business and watch these people crash and burn. And apparently, fam, it done got all the way up to the Supreme Court. And now the Supreme Court is saying it. So what they gonna do about it now? It ain't just us. It ain't just us. And by the way, speaking of things not being us, family, I don't ever want to hear Plies talk. Plies, it's best that you just get off the computer, get off the internet. Just don't say nothing, okay? Your hairline is on the back of your earlobes. You need to just stop. I don't want to hear nothing. How many long time that they gonna do that now? Kamala Harris can't save that hairline. Be quiet, please, and don't say nothing, because FBA ain't gonna say hammerhead. Ain't nobody playing them games. Shout out to my brother Sage. I see you, brother. Shout out to Black Truth. I see you, brother. Family. How many of you guys are following what's going on down here in Georgia? Let me tell you something that's crazy, right? I'm telling everybody about these illegals, right? And the illegals have been running around here. They're not going for it. See, let me tell you what's happening. When foundational Black Americans withdraw from the Democratic Party, that has a chain effect, okay? There's an aftershock that goes along, a domino effect. Let's break it all the way down. If foundational Black Americans do not vote for the Democratic Party, then that means that the Democratic Party, one, they're not going to win. And if they don't win, no more protections for those illegals who come here and take our jobs. You know, the jobs that the Democrats don't ever talk about. And then on top of that, the Skittles bag don't get all those protections. And then all those people who've been running around here practicing all these anti-Black American hate crimes, and they've been giving hate crime bills to Lucy Liu and Jackie Chan and Yao Ming, that ain't happening no more. Every time we shut them down, it's over with. And let me tell you what they're most afraid about. All those illegals who are coming here to the United States of America, when they can't redistrict and gerrymander these communities that basically essentially gives the Democrats positions, now those positions are going to be filled with two things. They keep talking about the Republicans. You better be worrying about the independents. Yes, independents, because now it's gave the opportunity for somebody to be an independent candidate, and an independent candidate can come in. See, they keep talking about if it ain't the Republicans, or excuse me, if it ain't the Democrats, it's going to be the Republicans. Now, family, there's going to be a bunch of independent, foundational Black American grassroots riders who are going to fill those positions that the Democrats always take. I want everybody to think about Clyburn. See, this is why this affects Black Americans, and this is why Black Alpha's over here clapping and applauding. Because what you're seeing now go on, this is the BS that Clyburn pulled on my brother Marcel, Greg Marcel Dixon, the great Greg Marcel Dixon. See, what ended up happening is that Marcel had all of the grassroots support. Clyburn got all them old, outdated dinosaurs, and he just won. This man is in the 6th poorest district in America, okay? Not in the South, all right? Not in Carolina. No. In America. How can you have the 6th poorest district in America and you keep on winning? That lets you know Democratic shields ain't doing nothing for us. Democratic shields are just out here at the detriment of our community. So that's how he ended up playing my brother Marcel. And that's how he ended up winning. It was the grassroots, standing on business, certified business. We was all behind our brother. We was donating. People was making phone calls. People was stomping for him. It was a new wave of energy that my brother brought in. And what happened? The Democrats seen that energy and they tried to stifle it. And they used these districts of dinosaurs who are Democrats to try to take down what my brother was building. They used this whole outdated system. They use this whole outdated structure. They use Clyburn and the Democratic dinosaurs to stop the grassroots energy from my brother Marcel. Now they can't do it no more, y'all. That's what ended up happening. So I don't give a damn. I don't care. I seen it, fam. Let me tell you something. I done been places with Marcel where we're trying to go to these events, and if they see his name on it, they shut it down. I know all types of corruption that you seen going on with Clyburn. Clyburn right now is trying to run against his daughter. He's trying to run against his daughter, y'all. Man, they family do all types of mafia stuff out there in Carolina, fam. I'm telling you, all the way to the voter booth, the box, ballots not being counted, all that. They run that mafia style. And that's what's been happening out here in Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Arkansas, Tennessee, all out here in the South, fam. They've been playing them games where they've been stifling us. You are not supposed to be anybody representing the grassroots. So don't listen to all the talk about Republicans, okay? Black Alpha connecting the dots. We in here cooking, fam. What they're trying to do as well is stop the independent foundational Black American politician from rising. The Republicans, they just secondhand. What it really is that if one of y'all decides to run, if one of y'all stands up and goes, and y'all getting a little too much energy, they just going to go and get all the old dinosaurs, and they're just going to take that seat away. Damn, the Republicans, I'm going to tell you right now, the Democrats would rather have the Republicans take those seats than one of us. And now, with the Supreme Court ruling, it don't matter what the hell they want. Now it's in the hands of the people. So real, organic, genuine, foundational Black American grassroots energy in the political atmosphere, now that can be dominated by us because it's open season. Trust me when I tell y'all, they got to work for it, family. And let me tell you something. If it comes down to an even playing field where now they got to work for our votes, not they just steal them and just take them. Now, if it comes down to a Democrat who's a dinosaur who got to work for the vote, or somebody like my brother Greg Marcel Dixon or one of y'all, it's a wrap. It's a wrap, family. And then on top of that, down here in the South, those W's, they don't want to have no Julios. Julio and Pedro and all that, no. The reason I told y'all that Kamala Harris was coming down South, remember the time frame, everybody. I showed y'all 1 week before I pulled up on Kamala, I showed everybody that she kept talking about going down South. You guys remember that? Do you guys remember that, family? When I was showing everybody her talking about we going down South, the South got the power. And we were exclusively talking about how they're trying to target the South. Notice when they talk about all this stuff, fam, it's always the South they're bringing up. Look at this right here. Look at this, fam. They're going to post that right there, and they're going to talk about what it would look like and what it does look like. And they keep putting the red. Look at those blue districts, family. Look at it, fam. Now, those blue districts that they're on, and by the way, that blue you see right there in Carolina, that's right there where Greg Marcel Dixon's at, family. Same damn thing, okay? That's Clyburn's been benefiting from that. That's why Clyburn is so scared. That's why Clyburn don't know what the hell to do. Yes, indeed. But family, they're talking about the red. Let me tell you what the Democrats better worry about. Don't worry about the Supreme Court ruling on voter rights and it being something that benefits the red. You better worry about the red, white, blue, and black. That's your problem, because the red, white, blue, and black represents foundational Black Americans. And man, we got some real certified brothers and sisters who are coming up right now, and they don't want to hear that. I already showed y'all. The narrative is shifted. The generation is shifted. It's a new wave. It's a new dawn. It's a new day. Sooner or later, a brother's going to stand up. He's going to have all the energy, and then boom, we're going to take back over. They're afraid of those seats being taken by independent, foundational Black American grassroots politics. Okay, they're afraid of politicians who look like us, talk like us, stand on our business, taking one of those seats. And one of the main ways that we're going to be able to do that and utilize it is immigration. So while the Democrats are out there trying to flood the zone in Atlanta, trying to flood the zone in Arkansas, Mississippi, Alabama with all these damn illegal immigrants, fam, down here, they ain't playing them games. Because we got a race going on right now for governor down here and a bunch of other local initiatives here. And there's this guy down here named Rick Jackson. How many of y'all, we got Georgia in the house. Y'all know I'm from Georgia, baby. You know, GA all day, baby. If Georgia's in here, please let me know something, okay? Because y'all know this is my home. and I've been following it. And there's a guy down here named Rick Jackson, and Rick Jackson said he ain't playing with no damn illegals. He said, try me, illegal. All that stuff that they be doing with Clyburn be saying, let them come on in, and Bakari Sellers said, come on in. The Republicans ain't doing that, okay? The Republicans are saying, you better stay out. Y'all remember in Savannah when they got that Hyundai plant right down the street? I seen it, fam. They were just snatching them people out. They're afraid. GA in the house. I see you, family. Yes, indeed. GA, stand up. My home. Family, they're afraid of us connecting with a lot of those W voters based on immigration. I've been out there with Marcel. Me and Marcel went to MAGA rallies. All that, y'all don't go talk to the Republicans. Shit. I've been all through their stuff, stomping off top, letting them know it's certified. And I check them the same way I check the Democrats. Well, family, I've been to those places. I've been through there. I rode up on them. And anytime you talk immigration, they're willing to listen. They'll sit there and talk. Marcel's talked in front of hundreds of MAGA people. And if you start talking immigration, they go, I like the sound of that. So now an independent person is going to go further than a Democrat. See, a Democrat, if he's running against an independent foundational Black American politician, the Democrat's going to say, well, we need to go ahead and give amnesty and bring in illegals. You ain't winning nothing in the South with that. The only way a Democrat can win down here in the South with nowadays, family, the only way that they could have won is if they're promoting and pushing a whole agenda of illegal immigration to a bunch of old dinosaurs. That's it, fam. That perpetual voter for the Democrats that just votes blue no matter who, that individual will allow a Democrat to win. Now that they can't do that no more, I don't see how the Democrats are going to win anything down here with their current immigration policy. One more time. The current immigration policy of the Democratic Party under the new districting based on the Supreme Court's voter rights initiatives and act that came out, Democrats will never win down South. They'll never win down South. And I'm telling you, a grassroots candidate will mop them. Because there's a guy down here named Rick Jackson, and I want y'all to see this right here. Look at this, family. Watch what he says. He says, if they come down here to the South, you will be deported or departed. Damn.
Your culture on our country. Conservative Rick Jackson. Too often, criminal illegals commit sick, violent crimes, victimize our children, and get away with murder. So here's my guarantee to them. Do that when I'm governor, and you'll end up deported or departed. Rick Jackson, deported or departed. And you'll end up deported or departed. And you'll end up deported or departed.
Damn! How the Democrats gonna win with the new lining of the districts talking about illegals for everybody? Everybody can come here and be an illegal immigrant. No! Our message will coincide more with people who vote for this guy than people who vote for Clyburn. One more time, Mr. Jackson.
So here's my guarantee to them. Do that when I'm governor, and you'll end up deported or departed. Rick Jackson for Georgia. Any questions?
He said, any questions? Damn. A hell of a lot of answers, though. That's the point that I prove, family. Now, based on the new lining of the districts, the Democrats can no longer push initiatives that do not reflect the greater masses of the Black community. The only reason the Democrats were allowed to win is because the people that were voting for them were blind voters. This right now with the new districting based on the Supreme Court's Voter Rights Act, now, family, they can't do it anymore. Now they have to come with actual tangibles, and they're not going to win blindly no more. So it's a wrap for them. Oh, it's up. It's up, family. It's up. And that's the opportunity that foundational Black Americans have put on the table. And that's the opportunity that foundational Black Americans, I know for a fact, will seize. It's over for them. No more games. It's a wrap. Try another one. Because, fam, we've been running up on these people a long time. We've been showing these people what it is. They know what we be talking about. They just don't want to acknowledge it. Remember when we was running up on Clyburn back in the day? Remember this, family? How many of you guys remember this? Remember this was the energy that we were met with whenever we talk to these people? Goodbye, Clyburn. Your days is numbered. Watch this.
You want to know if he support reparations? I'm sorry?
You want to know if you support reparations?
I support reparations out in that name. You need to learn what reparations is. Y'all keep talking about a word. It means to repair.
It's cash payments for
Hell no. You never get it.
Why not? That's why we need your support. You got a lot of power.
You will never get it.
You have a lot of leverage.
Let me ask you a question.
You get our support. We've been dedicated to you for a very long time.
Will you listen?
We'll never get reparations, he said, family. We'll never get it.
But that's not the point. You're talking about the law. You're talking about the law. You're talking about my wife, whose grandfather was white. And therefore her mother could get educated. But her daddy was African.
Look at that, family. This is what it is. This is how they've been the whole time.
This is big with me. I'm the only one doing the bill.
I'm doing well. Listen, but I gotta go. But I appreciate the fist try and everything. I did want to ask though. Reparations is a big thing.
Look, reparations is big with me. I'm the only one doing the bill. Why y'all keep fucking with me on that? I'm the only one doing the bill.
Why y'all keep effing with me? Why y'all keep effing with me? The brother came and just simply asked him about reparations. Why you keep effing with me? Y'all see the energy we got met with, family? Y'all see, they don't like us asking questions.
I did want to ask though. Reparations is a big thing.
Look, reparations is big with me. I'm the only one doing the bill. Why y'all keep fucking with me on that? I'm the only one doing the bill. It's my bill.
Which bill?
The reparations bill.
HR 40?
HR 40.
Okay.
And I've been doing it for 20 years, 30 years. And it's been around for 38. So why y'all keep telling me about a bill that's been there for 38 years?
Because you ain't never did nothing for the bill. A bill, he's sitting there bragging to us about a bill that's been there for 38 years. If it's been there for 38 years and it ain't done nothing, that ain't a flex, homeboy. That's horrible. And do you see how they're completely, absolutely content with this, family? Y'all see what we be talking about. This is why it's all out, all hands on deck. We ain't playing no games with none of these cowards. Hell no, bragging about a bill that's been there for 38 years.
If you wait on tax payments to come out of reparations, you're going to wait forever. It's not going to happen. So what you rather do, let me just talk. Don't put that in my face.
Why are you touching me?
Okay, all right. I'm going to
Don't put the camera in his face. Listen, look at this attitude. Look at these boulets, fam.
Cut the check. Tell Nancy Pelosi to cut the check.
Yeah.
You do that for me?
She's the treasurer.
Cut the check. Somebody better cut the check.
Well,
reparations are owed, sir.
Talk to the
ADOS. You're not going to run away from this issue, Congressman.
Oh, I'm not trying to run away from it.
It seems like you are. You're walking away right now.
Oh.
Cut the check, Congressman.
There you go. Turn they back. That's right there, fam. That is very, very indicative of what we're talking about. Turn his back right there. Turned his back. Literally, fam. And that's exactly what's been happening to Black Americans time and time again with the political establishment, particularly with the Democrats. They just turn their back on us, fam. They are not open to any critique or any dissent. They view that as a dictatorship. They want to talk about no King's Day parade. Fam, they're the ones who act like royalty. They're not in any position to disrespect foundational Black Americans. I told y'all, we did everything for them. They haven't done nothing for us. Nothing for us, fam. So what are we talking about here? This is what we're saying. They don't have nothing to say about Black Americans. They just ducking and dodging and they running and hiding. And anytime you bring up something to them, that's the type of energy that you receive. And family, now they're getting an energy back that they don't like. Let's talk about my brother Malcolm X. Y'all look at your screen. Do y'all see what brother Malcolm X was saying about these people years ago? You see, family, Malcolm X was calling out both parties a long time ago. Yes, the hell he was. Malcolm X was calling out both parties years ago. The Democrats have been playing you for a chump. And if you vote for them, nothing's going to change. Family, we're not going to disrespect Malcolm X. Don't they always want to bring up Malcolm X to us, family? Don't they always want to bring up Malcolm X? Well, Malcolm X said, how about these Malcolm X quotes? Y'all notice they never bring up Malcolm X saying that the Democrats play us as chumps, and they never bring up when Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. said we're coming to Washington to get our check. Don't they always want to use them against us, but they don't like when we use them against them? Y'all notice that now? Look at this. He was telling us a long time ago what it is. So now it's a whole different game because let's be honest, y'all. They've had their opportunity, and they decided that they'd rather be with illegal immigrants. Straight up, and they turned their back. Notice that Clyburn will turn his back, but I guarantee if you went there talking about illegal immigrants, he'd have been all ears. He'd have listened all the way live, fam, because when they had their opportunity to do things for Black Americans, boom, and now the Supreme Court said, here's an opportunity for you. What you going to do about it? There you go, family. I told everybody it was either going to be the foundational Black American grassroots that got these people, or apparently now it's the Supreme Court that got them. But either way, they got. Either way, they got, and there ain't nothing they can do. And it ain't new either. It ain't new. See, people think this is some type of new game plan and new thing that's been going on. No, the hell it ain't. Brothers and sisters been running up on these Democrats a long time. Shout out to the people in New York. Shout out to my brother Tariq out in California. Shout out to myself and Marcel for running up on Kamala Harris. But family, brothers and sisters been doing this for a long time. And there's a brother in our community right now that ran up on somebody. You seen Clyburn bragging about HR 40 and talking about it's been there for 38 years and ain't done nothing. Family, everybody let the world know, people who don't know. Who was the main person who put out HR 40? Y'all let me know right now. Who is the main person who put together HR 40? And they acted like this person was the godmother of reparations. And she's not even a Black American. Y'all right now, you seen Clyburn was bragging about HR 40. He was talking about HR 40. Why y'all fucking with me? It's been there for 38 years. Who was the person that the Democrats were loving so much about HR 40, and this person didn't do anything for us in regards to it? Here we go. Let's see if y'all know what I'm talking about. I'm going to move when y'all move, fam. Let me know. Who was the person that the Democratic Party was so hell-bent on? Sheila Jackson Lee. There you go. Family, people been running up on these people. Yes, indeed. There's a brother right now in the new Black media. I'm going to need y'all to go subscribe to his channel right now. This is my brother, Black Church. Okay? Church ran up on her a long time ago. I'm going to show it to you now. Shout out to Church. Shout out to Church. Y'all, everybody, please put my brother Church in the comment, not in the chat. Y'all put his channel in there, family. This right here, this is my brother Church. Y'all, Church, man, Church is cold, boy. That's one of the best brothers in the movement, man. Make sure y'all subscribe to my brother. Watch this right here, fam. Church ran up on her a long time ago. This is the woman that they said was on reparations, though. The grassroots been putting pressure on these people. They been ducking that smoke. This ain't nothing new.
When are Black Americans going to get policy? I'm not nowhere here.
We just got through talking to what we're trying to do is just got through talking about pushing that bill on the floor. If we can't push that commission bill, we want to do executive order. But as you well know, in order to get where anybody wants to do, I don't disagree with anyone, because I'm just there to move a vehicle forward so you can get where you need to be. We've got to get people to understand it and move it forward.
Everybody's getting things done without any type of research or anything. They're just getting funding and policy.
Get him, brother. That's what I'm talking about. My brother didn't go for none of that stuff. She thought she was going to be slick. Oh, what it is was that you could if you did. And then she tried to pull the Clyburn. Notice my brother stay on her. That's how you handle these people. Give them that smoke. Pull-ups been pulling up. Ain't nothing new with the pull-up, y'all.
To move a vehicle forward so you can get where you need to be. We've got to get people to understand it and move it forward.
Everybody's getting things done without any type of research or anything. They're just getting funding and policy. We're the only people that's not getting funding and policy now.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. Oh, look at you.
In a room full of heavy hitters.
Somebody take this.
You put the law in between us, but they're supposed to be representatives wanting my vote.
They went and got the law. They got the Latino law. They went and got the Latino law the same way that they try to kick out me and Marcel and security. You can't talk to these people, y'all. The days of talking is over. We've been trying to talk. The reason why we pull up is because they didn't want to talk. She went and ran away and got the law. Went and got this dude to go. Look at her. Look at her. Went and got this sellout dude right here himself. I'm trying to watch my language, y'all. Watch this right here. And my brother pressed her and she went and got the law.
You put the law in between us, but they're supposed to be representatives wanting my vote.
That's how you handle these people, y'all. That's how you handle them. Straight up. Straight, there's more to the video too, man. Brother Church, if you can, family, repost that. Everybody needs to see that. Everybody needs to see that, fam. Y'all make sure y'all subscribe to my brother. Brother Church be on that work. And notice he put it all in there. He put all the statements in there, everything that needed to be heard, every word that needed to be said. He put it in there, highlighted how they did that. See, this is good. This is good. We document everything, fam. Why do you think right now everybody's talking like the FBA grassroots? Why do you think everybody's capturing our energy? Why do you think our energy is capturing everybody's soul? It's because of those situations like that. You can see my brother Church. He recorded her talking. He recorded her running. He recorded her excuses. He recorded all her COON handlers, and he recorded her putting the law in between. Put it out there, boom. And then brothers and sisters is watching that. And I'm talking about brothers and sisters of all generations. They like, I don't like the way that person ran. He turned Sheila Jackson Lee into Sheila Jackson Flee because she fled and she got the hell up out of there. And that's the FBA grassroots energy that go get down. And that's the reason why everybody's talking like us now. My brother Church did that years ago, and now look what it snowballed into. Now it went all the way up to the Supreme Court, and it's happening all across the United States of America. She did the same thing that Clyburn did. Now think about it. Clyburn is down there scamming Black Americans, and then she was scamming Black Americans, and she wasn't even a Black American. So you see what we're talking about? You're talking about a Caribbean, Jamaican, or whatever the hell she was, person running around here speaking about our reparations, but won't talk to a foundational Black American brother from California. Okay, what world are you in where you think you're going to disrespect a brother from California when you from damn Jamaica? That's Sheila Jackson Flee. And she's in the same damn boat as John Lewis. I don't care. If you spend your time on this earth ducking smoke for foundational Black Americans and upholding an anti-Black political party, then you're going to get all this grassroots smoke before, after, and everything in between. That's how we get down. Point blank, bottom line. And that's the reason why everything is changing. And that's why everybody's watching us win, watching us shine. You got to love it, fam, because I know I do. I'm going to tell you right now, I'm loving all it. Because guess what? I don't care. I can give a damn, y'all. Because I already know what they're going to say. They're going to pull out the Republicans did it too. Donald Trump is racist, or they just going to run. And those three excuses are not adequate enough. So therefore, we just going to bypass all that. We're going to press fast forward, get to the end of this movie. I check you, you lose, you're irrelevant, and we all going down in history as the generation who changed Black America forever. And if you want to change Black America forever, the first thing you got to do is start checking all of these outsiders and these ops. And that's exactly what we've been doing. They know exactly the energy that we bring to the table, because the energy we bring to the table is the only energy that matters. And family, man, they got a lot of folks out here running around here talking reckless. A bunch of people running around here thinking they smooth, thinking they slick, but they ain't got nothing going for them. Did y'all see Holland? Did y'all see Holland out there? Holland out there. Main thing, fam. They melting down. They melting down and breaking down, and I'm loving it. I'm loving every second of it, fam. This is the energy that we got. Boy, that Supreme Court ruling got Roland upset. Okay, but he's always been upset. He's always mad. See, Roland disappeared. Y'all notice, fam? Roland took a vacation the whole week where everybody was talking about that Ashley Gonzalez and the Black and Brown Coalition. When anti-Black Latinos are being highlighted, Roland took off the whole week. Now Roland comes back when he could try to scare Black folks, but we ain't scared, okay? He better be scared about that damn cholesterol. Y'all look at this right here, family. He was having the biggest meltdown, and I do mean biggest, that I've ever seen from him. Watch this.
If this continues, and if we do not vote, and I'm going to take a break, and I'm going to show y'all what happens when we don't vote. The last election was the largest gap in white-Black turnout in 30 years.
Uh-oh.
I need y'all to understand.
No. I need you to understand why that happened. Or better yet, I need you to admit why it happened. The largest gap between Black and white turnout, that's because Black Americans sat on the couch. The couch won. Remember when they didn't want to admit that, y'all? Remember after the election when they did not want to admit that Black turnout was down? Remember that? Now they're admitting it. But guess what? We've been known it. And this is the beauty of not waiting for these people to come out and say it and just saying it ourselves because we FBA and we said so. 2 years later, now they're admitting that Black folks didn't show up. That sounds like he's saying the couch won. That's what it sounds like to me. What about y'all?
The last election was the largest gap in white-Black turnout in 30 years. I need y'all to understand. We scared the shit out of them in 2008. In 2008, Black people, by percentage, voted at a higher rate than white people did for the first time in American history.
Yep, and I got some history for you. That was 20 years ago. Fam, we got these people holding on to 20 years ago. This is what we doing to the Democratic Party, y'all. This is what we doing. Fam, he's talking about 20 years ago. This is what they got, fam. You know you whooping the party. You know you the greatest. You know you running things. When they got to go back 20 years ago. What I'm hearing right now is 20 years ago, we was able to fool black folks. 20 years ago, we could still give them nothing. 20 years ago, we could just run our mouths. Can't do it no more. Damn how things change. Damn how things flip side and go all the way back around. Now these folks see that that flip side done showed up. 20 years ago ain't today.
And that was with the election of then Senator Barack Obama. That was 2008. 2010, many of us who showed up in 2008 didn't show up in 2010.
Because we knew Barack Obama didn't do nothing for us. Because we weren't satisfied with his presidency. I know we got some young brothers and sisters in the house tonight, but I know we got some older brothers and sisters in the house tonight. How many of y'all remember when we said, nah, we ain't voting for Barack Obama the second term? Listen, fam, he's admitting everything we say. Everything that you ever heard, fam, he's admitting. Let me see y'all face. No. Hold up. Wait a minute. Family, he's admitting everything. He starts off saying that this past election was the largest gap between W's and black folks. Why? It's because black folks, because the black foundational, black American grassroots didn't show up. So therefore, since we didn't show up, that's what created the gap. Boom, we said that. Big facts. Then he goes back 18 years ago to Barack Obama and says how we did turn out. But guess what? We didn't turn out 4 years later because black Americans seen how punctified that election went down and how his first campaign. How many of you guys remember? We in here, y'all. I need y'all to talk to me, fam. I got my brothers and sisters. Y'all ready for this? Because I like to say things that people said back in the day so they don't try to dismiss them. I like to keep their lies fresh. A fresh lie stays in your mind. How many of you guys remember this? Barack Obama can't do anything for black people because he's the president of all people. Y'all remember that one? Y'all remember that? We're going to break down Barack Obama. And remember, when you looking at Black Alpha, I'm the man who got on stage in Washington, D.C., 3 blocks away from the White House and called him a hoe. Go ahead. The cameras was rolling. I said, Barack Obama, live on stage. You know I'm bold. I'm a Leo. We don't give a damn. So I'm going to call it what it is and put the facts on the table. You guys remember that? Okay. Now let me ask you this. Do you remember his second term? Do you guys remember how that lie turned into he can't do anything for black folks to wait until his second term? How many of y'all remember that? If we got some young brothers and sisters in the house tonight, watch the chat, listen and learn. The brothers and sisters going to tell you they want to sweep all this under the rug so nobody remembers it, fam. We remember it. It went from he can't do nothing for us specifically to, well, you got to vote for him again. Why? He can't do nothing for us specifically. Because now he can the second term. That's what his campaign motto was. His campaign motto the second term was, man, if we just wait, y'all, he going to do something the second time around. And the second time around, he did the same exact thing he did the first time around. Nothing for black folks. Why you watch him do DACA, you seen him give the Skittles bag, everything, and he did everything for everybody else. That's why black Americans did not show up for Barack Obama in 2012. And you see Holland is admitting it. Y'all remember that stuff, fam? Y'all remember every time he would just change it. They were moving the goalpost up the same way they move the goalpost now. They use he's a black president. In reality, he's a mop, a melanated other person. They use him being a black president to get us to vote the first go around. And then the second time they said he's going to do something for us the second term to get us to turn out the other time. Black Americans weren't going for it. And what you see is Barack Obama in 2009 and then Barack Obama in 2012, you started to see the decline. And then they try to get us to turn out for Hillary and her hot sauce. Okay. In 2000 and what was that, 16? Black Americans said no, and she lost. So you see how that turned out. And to be honest with you, I think they finessed Donald Trump in 2020. I think that was a finesse. And then fast forward to last year, 2024, a year and a half, then you seen Kamala Harris lose at an all-time rate. Let's not forget, y'all, Kamala Harris lost in one of the biggest landslides ever. The only place where Kamala Harris won was places where illegals were voting. Just keeping it real, keeping it buck, y'all. Let's keep it real. All alleged, but that's what it looked like. So do you see the decline of the Democratic Party? Let's be honest, y'all. Say there was no finesse. Say if there wasn't a finesse in 2016 or 2020 with Trump versus Biden. Family, that means you've seen Barack Obama decline, and then Joe Biden declined. Really, then Donald Trump won, mopped Hillary, and then Joe Biden didn't win in reality, and then all the way to now. Look at it, y'all. Doesn't that coincide with when the grassroots started getting on code? Ain't that the same time, fam? Brothers and sisters really started getting on code around 2010, 2011. I believe the first Hidden Colors came out around 2011. Do you see how that coincides with the Democrats going down? Barack Obama wins. Then the next term, we don't show up. Then Hillary Clinton gets mopped up. 2020, they do a finesse. And then 2024, Kamala Harris gets dusted. Damn, y'all. That's showing you that Black Americans were on the same page and Black Americans were causing this. This decline that you're seeing from the Democratic Party and the Democratic establishment has been brewing for years, y'all. It's just coming to a head now because we are getting more on code, and this FBA Renaissance is mopping the floor with them. We mopping them up with mops, fam. It's been that way. I'm telling you now, if you take away the election of 2020, the finesse election, okay? The finlection, if you take that away, fam, they ain't done nothing. To be honest with you, fam, if you really take that away, that would be basically Donald Trump 2 times, okay? He ended up winning the second time in 2024, but fam, that would really be about 3 times. He mopped Hillary, and he really, let's be honest with you, with Biden, and then boom now, y'all. So what we talking about now? That's what it all is. That's what it all is, and foundational Black Americans been doing that. And if you're watching Holand is admitting this, fam. This is why you see that look. That look you see right there in Roland Martin's face has been the look that you've been seeing in a lot of Democratic shields. It's the look you see right here in this Democratic shield and that Democratic shield and this Democratic shield. So family, if you keep seeing the same look, ain't it the same people who putting in work? You damn right it is. Who are those people? Us. Let's go.
And then you had the Shelby County versus Holder case that was decided by the Supreme Court that gutted Section 4 of the Voting Rights Act. And that's when they begin to fight the Voting Rights Act, shut down polling locations, change voting rules, put in voter ID, because they saw with their own eyes the power of Black voters.
No. Y'all see how he's trying to attribute that to the Republicans and gerrymandering, but he's not attributing that to the foundational Black American grassroots? That's why I just eloquently broke it down to y'all, because I knew he was going to pull this. He's trying to make it look like this rapid decline of the Democrats is because of the Republicans. The rapid decline of Black American politics has been because Black American grassroots, family. Our whole community has shifted based on us. It ain't got nothing to do with the Republicans.
And they said, no, we can't handle this. And what has been our response since? We have had fewer of us voting in each election since 2008.
That was by choice. Fam, that's by choice. Fewer Black Americans voting is because fewer Black Americans want to be involved in this con game system based on the con game Democrats. It ain't got nothing to do with Republicans. Black Americans ain't been pushed away. Black Americans ain't been denied. I ain't met one Black American that's been denied voting. If they don't get out of here, we ain't been counting jelly beans or how many seashells are at the beach. We ain't had to stand on one damn foot and do the damn moonwalk. None of that. Y'all losing because we ain't voting because we decide not to vote. It ain't got nothing to do with gerrymandering, redistricting. That's an excuse because you don't want to acknowledge the fact that your favorite political party, which you love more than your mama, is getting completely dismantled by us. This right here is somebody who don't want to accept a rude awakening. You know what it really is? It ain't the Republicans, it's reparations.
I've always said, when you show what you are capable of doing, you got to keep showing them.
That's what we're doing.
You got to keep turning out.
No, hey, listen, fam. Yep, you damn right. You notice how he says, Everything that you do, you keep showing them. That's what we're doing. Only difference is that we're showing you. Oh, you don't like it when it comes your direction. See, family, we're breaking it down in a realistic way. Everything that he's saying is true, but it ain't the Republicans. It's the grassroots. And this is what I'm talking about. The same way they run around here and try to say, y'all sound like MAGA. This is the same reason why now they want to give MAGA all the credit for what we are creating. Not gonna work, partner.
They are absolutely scared of the future of black people.
Scared? Okay, family. Who's scared? The Republicans or this person right here? Who's scared, family? You're not going to put your fear on somebody else. Don't sit there and say they're scared. Your party's scared because your party's not getting voted for. Your party is upset. Your party cannot bamboozle the black community anymore. Everything he's saying that he's trying to give to the Republicans, black Americans is taking it back. You're scared, fam. I don't see fear in Donald Trump. Does Donald Trump look scared or does Plaz look scared? Let's talk that. Does Donald Trump look scared or does Coke bottles look scared? Does Donald Trump look scared or does Gagatha look scared? Does Donald Trump look scared or does Grimace look scared? Because Grimace look way more scared than the Republicans. Checkmate. They can't handle us, family. You line them up, we knock them down. Scared is when you buck in their eyes, family. Scared is when you afraid. Scared is when you don't know when you're going to get that vote.
And Latinos and Asian Americans being in charge. My book is called White Fear, How the Browning of America is Making White Folks Lose Their Minds.
Family, you talking about this. There you go. Now he's trying to attribute it to the Latinos and to the Lucy-Loos. You mean the same ones that voted for the other guy down in Texas and not Jasmine Crockett? Oh, now.
Of the future of black people and Latinos and Asian Americans being in charge. My book is called White Fear, How the Browning of America is Making White Folks Lose Their Minds. This is the book, y'all, and I laid it out. And I'm telling you right now, what I am laying out to you is exactly what is going on. And I'm telling you, if we continue to play games and to be talking about every other thing that ain't got nothing to do about our future, we're going to look up and we're going to see, and we're already seeing it. We're going to see scholarship programs wiped out.
They don't give us that in the first place.
We're going to see black health programs wiped out.
They don't help us with that in the first place.
We're going to see educational opportunities wiped out.
They don't give us those in the first place. What are you going to wipe out, family, that the Democrats ain't ever done for us? How come the Democrats haven't done any of those? The Democrats could have provided those. Why are you talking about things getting wiped out from the Republicans? You had all the power to do so. Do you guys know that every single Democratic president going all the way back to Jimmy Carter, when they first got elected during their first term, they had control over the whole government? Oh, they don't talk about that, family. Barack Obama's first term, hold control over the government. Joe Biden, hold control over the government. Bill Clinton, both times, hold control over the government. Jimmy Carter, hold control over the government. You could have done all this when you had the whole government. But why didn't you?
We're going to see black political offices wiped out.
It's already been that way. Because every time somebody like Marcel steps up, you see Clyburn say, why are you fucking with me? Why you think Church ran up on Sheila Jackson Flee? Oh, they don't want no problems with Black Alpha tonight, family. I'm on 110. You don't want none. I know all your lies, all your excuses. I know everything you're going to come up with, conjure up, and I'm going to send it right on back to you. The Democrats can't fool us. We are checking them. Big difference, big time, whole different vibe.
We're already seeing last year, Biden-Harris, $10 billion in federal contracts going to black-owned businesses with only 2%. That sucker's already down to 1.2%.
Going to black-owned businesses, I thought you couldn't do anything for black folks specifically. Got him again. Oh, I'm on one tonight, fam. I'm in rare form today. Checkmate. Ain't no eye bucking gonna control this. Wait a minute now. Now you want to talk about how things go to us specifically. I thought you couldn't do nothing specifically. We can't get a specific hate crime law. We can't get specific reparations. We can't get specific tangibles. Notice how now he wants to talk about specific things for us when he can fool us to go vote for them. They don't want to acknowledge specifics when it's something that we want for the grassroots. Now he want to pretend about specifics. How can you say things that went to black people? What about reparations that should go to black people? You ain't gonna say that. Caught him, got him, spot him. Try another one, Holden. It ain't working. You're getting embarrassed tonight on a Friday. May 1st, wake up. It's the first of the month.
We're going to see black political offices wiped out. We're already seeing last year, Biden-Harris, $10 billion in federal contracts going to black-owned businesses with only 2%. That sucker's already down to 1.2% under Trump. So if you lose economics, education, health, civil rights, social justice, they've wiped out.
Oh, you mean everything that the illegals get when they come to America? Uh-oh. Everything that he just named, illegals get in abundance. Everything that he just named, the illegals get for free. How come you're not talking about why that wealth and economics and health, how come you're not talking about how it's being redistributed from Black American communities to the illegal immigrant communities? You think you're going to skip over the facts and you think you're going to skip over the truth, but Black Americans going to pull all that back. The days of running and hiding and babbling are done. The days of just making things up are done. You dealing with some certified, bona fide, verified, thorough, foundational Black Americans from all 50 states, and we see through your ass. So try another one.
Your black infrastructure. And that is their aim. So, folk, I'm telling you right now, you can mark it down at 7:02 p.m. Eastern on April 27th. If we sit these elections out and let them win, and when it happens, y'all mark this moment.
We are marking the moment. If we do those things, you going to be unemployed. Oh, you already are. I guess you're going to be double unemployed. Like you got double blood pressure. How about that one, family? Yeah, that's exactly what we're going to do. And it's the same exact thing. He's not speaking out of fear from the Republicans. He's speaking out of fear from us. See, family, we know what they're doing now. What they're doing, my good, eloquent, foundational Black American brothers and sisters, they're taking everything that they're scared of from the FBA grassroots, and they're making it look like it's the Republicans who are doing it. I told you, nobody loves the Republicans more than the Democrats because they're anti-Black, just like the Democrats, or excuse me, just like the Republicans. They're anti-everything in America, just like everyone else. And now they're getting exposed, and we're the ones doing it. They love them. Nobody is falling for those games and them cons. You are the same people operating the same way on the same exact page, and Black Americans ain't going for none of it. It's easy work, fam. You can see through everything they saying, and we watching these people, and everything that they do is getting lined up. Nobody loves the Republicans more than the Democrats. They're anti-Black, just like the Republicans. They stifle Black Americans, just like the Republicans. They don't give us anything, just like the Republicans. So don't sit here and take what the grassroots does and then point the finger at the Republicans doing it, because in reality, you ain't scared of them because y'all friends. You're scared of us because you ain't us. Black Americans in the grassroots are the ones who are controlling the Democrats, and the Democrats can no longer control us. It done flip-flopped. The game done turned upside down. Everything that they used to do to us, family, now we're doing it to them. And we've been had the power. Now we just flexing our muscle because we getting it off the muscle. Every time that they point the finger and say, well, the Republicans are going to do that. In reality, we're doing that to the Democrats. Every time they say, well, the Republicans are going to cut this bill. No. We're cutting your money off. All that dark money done dried up. Every time they say, hey, the Republicans ain't going to give you this bill. Now you're not going to give the immigrants this bill because of us. The Republicans aren't your problem. The foundational Black American grassroots are your problems. It ain't about the R in Republican. It's about the R in reparations. And you know that reparations conversation is at this point, y'all, canceling the Democrats. They can't run from it. They can't hide. They can't duck and dodge. They can't go nowhere. They're going to have to face us when it comes to reparations, and them denying, running, hiding from the reparations conversation is now starting to have effects on these people in their political aspects, their political careers, and at the ballot box. They can no longer do this. This is the effects of them denying us reparations, fam. This is exactly what it is. Because they know a brother's going to stand up and say, we demand cash payment reparations, Kamala. They know a brother going to run up on Sheila Jackson Fleet or whoever the hell else they find. and say, hey, what about our money? They know people going to run up on Clyburn and say, hey, where the bag? They know people going to run up on Al Sharpton and say, hey, cut the check. Now what they going to do about it, fam? Now you're starting to see the foundational Black American grassroots take off. It used to be them with a lead on us because they was holding us back. And then we took off in the grassroots and we done lapped them, and we looking back and we can't find them. They're nowhere to be found right now, y'all. They're nowhere to be found because they had a party based on lies to us. They can't lie no more. We don't believe it. They had a party based on con games. They can't con us. They had a party based on hustling us, but we invented the hustle. So since we invented the hustle and we the number one hustlers, now we hustling them. And we going to continue to hustle them from the couch until they cut the check. And if you don't cut the check, then you're going to go from the White House, you're going to go from the governor mansion to the damn mayor's trailer to the damn unemployment line because we FBA. And when FBA says it, it's true. Let me show y'all even further what we doing out here in these streets, fam. And I'm loving the vibrations because these vibrations are all brought to you by us. They know what it is, fam. They know what it is. See, when that news broke, it sent shockwaves throughout their community. And a lot of those W's now are looking at them. And a lot of those W's are saying, damn, Roland, you can't get Black folks to vote. Damn, Al Sharpton, you can't get Black folks to vote. So now the fact, family, that they can't get these people to vote, you already see what's starting to happen to them. If you can't get Black folks to vote out here and your political masters are looking at this right now, the Black Democrats are going to get blamed for this. Notice, y'all, every time they bring up this voter redistricting, the W's are really mad at the Black Democrats. Have you noticed they're not blaming other people? They're not blaming nobody else but the Black Democrats because they're telling the Black Democrats, y'all supposed to solve this. I'm not supposed to be out here doing any of this. This is supposed to be y'all. Why do you think they're so upset and angry right now, family? They're so upset and angry because they're looking and they're seeing that that voter base is going away very swiftly. They're getting blamed for it. The Democrats are now having to take blame for them not presenting the Black vote. Clyburn gonna get a phone call. Kamala got a phone call. All right. Roland, they don't call him because they don't have his number because they don't take him serious enough. But you see where it's going and you can see where it's heading. This is why Barack Obama don't come out. And then something very, 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 very interesting happened. CNN is basically a front for the Democratic establishment because we have news agencies in the United States of America that are classified as entertainment. A lot of people don't know. I want to believe it was in the 1980s that news actually ended up getting reclassified. News back maybe when, well, I would say my parents, okay, but some people may be my parents' age, but news back in the 60s and the 70s, they were classified as news. And that's why news was very direct. And they said, hey, this happened today. A cat was in a tree and the fire department came and got it. It had to be direct and had to operate off facts. In the 1980s, they reclassified news to the same way that wrestling is classified or football is classified. You can go look it up right now. The NBA, the NFL, and the news are all classified under the same bracket. And that was the shift from back in the old days. That's why when you looked at news back in the old days, they were very stiff, very stale, and it really wasn't entertaining. And then it turned into this news and views thing. All right. So once it turned into that and they were able to fabricate the news, this is when you started getting these political parties that were absolutely programming. Good point. Programming, news and views. And when they put the views on it, it allowed them to just say whatever they want to say. So when that shift occurred, now you have Fox News, which represents the front and the propaganda network for the Republicans. And then you have the CNN network, MSNBC. Those are for the Democrats. However, what you're seeing now is the Democratic Party and CNN. They're starting to admit now something very, very interesting that just came out about 3 days ago. And that is that Donald Trump is gaining on the Democratic Party with Black voters. And I'm not just talking about Black MAGA, two-stepping. I'm not talking about none of that. He's getting these massive gains with Black voters. And this only coincides with everything that I just broke down about Roland Martin and every lie he told. This coincides with that massive decline that I just highlighted from 2008 all the way until present day. The decline of the Democratic establishment and Democratic Party is nothing that's just been happening for the last year or 5 years. What you saw on election night with Kamala, that was brewing for 15 years. And you can look at a direct contrast. Soon as the Democrats started to go down, that's the same exact time that the foundational Black American grassroots went up. And family, look at this right here. Very interesting that occurred. And it really caught a lot of people's attention. You're seeing Donald Trump gaining with Black voters. And they don't like that at all. Interesting. Watch this.
Trump and the Republican Party are chipping away at the long-term advantage that Democrats have had with black voters, with African Americans. You can see it right here. Look, Trump's approval among African Americans at this point in term one, he was at 12%. You know, he's been losing ground with a lot of people. He's gaining ground with African Americans. He's up to 16% at this point. And you say, this isn't that big of a shift. But I will tell you, Republicans absolutely love this shift that's going on because Democrats have had such a long-term advantage. The fact that he's actually gaining ground versus where he was in term number one, this has major implications for elections down the line because Democrats, especially in a lot of these tight races, you talk about places like Georgia, right down in the South, you see this type of movement for Trump.
Georgia down in the South. Fam, everything that he's saying right there, doesn't that sound exactly like what Black Alpha was saying about the new redistricting and how Republicans and grassroots Black American politicians gain to benefit? This is why you see them having that meltdown right there. Because of this right here. It goes even further.
Actually gaining ground, this could have major ramifications and help put Republicans over the top in a number of southern places in the midterm elections.
But do you see this as part of a bigger trend?
I see this as absolutely part of a bigger trend. Donald Trump's Republican Party is absolutely gaining ground, not just him gaining in terms of his approval rating, but look at the party ID margin, Kate, because this to me was absolutely stunning. Look at this party ID margin among African Americans. At this point in Trump term number one, Democrats had a 63-point advantage. That is absolutely fallen. Look at where it is now. A double-digit shift away. Democrats, of course, still have the advantage, but it's a 12-point shift to the Republican Party. What? And I look back through Gallup's records. They sent me their records. And this, in fact, lead that Democrats have is actually smaller than any lead from 2006 to 2021. So Democrats are leading. But again, we're talking about chipping away. Republicans are chipping away at this long-term advantage that Democrats have had among African Americans. We see it in terms of Trump's approval rating, and we even see it to a wider degree among the party ID margin, where all of a sudden there are a number of African Americans who are walking away from the Democratic Party and a number of them who are walking into the Republican tent.
That is very interesting.
Family, I don't know if we got any political science people in the building tonight. Fam, do you understand how odd and rare and pivotal that is? He ain't even been campaigning. Fam, they're losing votes to Donald Trump, and Donald Trump isn't campaigning because he can't campaign again. He's on his last term. How are you losing votes to a man that can't run again? The man can't even run again, and he's gaining it. Great point in the chat, y'all. This is because of immigration. Going back to that Rick Jackson guy I was telling you. Didn't I say earlier that foundational Black Americans in the grassroots, our position in terms of anti-illegal immigration is very similar to a lot of these independent people and conservatives? Immigration is absolutely destroying the Democrats, and they will not pivot off of it. Notice, y'all, the Democrats don't fight Donald Trump. The Democrats fight for illegal immigrants. Why do the Democrats fight for illegal immigrants? Because they're that hell-bent on trying to replace Black Americans. Do they challenge Donald Trump on healthcare? Do they challenge his economic plan? Do they even challenge his war? What's the number one thing that you always see the Democrats fighting for? And what's the number one thing that you see the Democrats fighting against Donald Trump? It's just immigration. They've become the party of illegal immigrants. And the American people have consistently told them no. I've never seen a party lose in the fashion that Kamala Harris lost in. One of the worst losses in modern history. And she lost based on the number one issue by consensus from America, all races, was against illegal immigration. So you lose because of illegal immigration, and then you still keep pushing it, even when people are telling you no and you're losing votes. This is how hell-bent they are on standing next to illegals and tethers and hoppers and skippers and jumpers. And the reason why they're so hell-bent on those people, because they're trying to use those people to replace our people, and it has backfired. That right there is Politics 101, brought to you by Certified Black Alpha. And this right here is damning to them. I've never seen that ever. You're talking about a Republican Party gaining traction with Black voters, and the Democrats ain't doing nothing. And a lot of that, and I'm going to keep it all the way live, fam, A lot of that you've seen right there in that report, a lot of that has to do with what you've seen Black Alpha do. I'm telling you right now, family, when I stood up and I checked her and I called her out on immigration and I called her out on reparations, a lot of that influenced what you see going on right now with those poll numbers, because I'm representing the sentiments and the consensus of foundational Black Americans. You see, we ain't rocking with those parties. You see, we're not rocking with their policies. So since we're not rocking for it, and I'm telling her that Black Americans are standing on it. Remember, the first words I use as a foundational Black American, I say on behalf of foundational Black Americans, we ain't rocking with you. I told her that, and they still don't listen. They still don't want to hear it. So family, the public, America, not just us, everybody keeps telling the Democratic Party, we're not going for the illegals, and they keep on doing it. So they're going to keep on losing, and we ain't going to save them, fam. Right now, the Democrats understand they are done, and the only hope they got is to crawl on their knees and try to come back to Black Americans. That's the only thing they got, y'all. That's it. What you're seeing with them talking about gerrymandering and talking about slavery and talking about taking us back to Jim Crow, that's their final excuse, y'all. That's it. And once this doesn't work, because Black Americans are going to do what I said we was going to do, you're not going to use our ancestors' legacy to give money to illegals. Once that happens, what they going to do now? What they going to do? I told her. See, I called her bluff. I called Kamala bluff because I knew this is what they were going to do. See, when you call somebody bluff, you take away their excuses ahead of time. So when they go back and do those excuses, people are going to say, no, ain't that what that Black Alpha guy said she was going to do? And then she did it. I ain't voting for her. Whoa. Didn't Tariq Nasheed say that the Democrats are going to tell that lie? And then they did it? I ain't voting for her. See, calling somebody's bluff politically, that is a royal flush. That's a power move. That's a boss move. And when you understand that, then you can flex your muscle and utilize it, and you can take it to your advantage. So we called out that they're going to blame the Republicans. And every time they blame the Republicans, Black folks is going to say, well, hold on. They said they was going to blame the Republicans, and then they did it. Damn them. I ain't vote for them no more. And then when people say reparations cut the check, and then they say, well, what you mean reparations? They're going to say, didn't that brother stand up in Savannah, Georgia and say reparations? And Kamala was looking right at him. How's she going to act like she don't know? Hell no, they ain't getting my vote. We're turning the tide. They're losing people. We're gaining people. This is very detrimental, y'all. Oh, it's very powerful as well. It's very powerful. The fact is that they're losing votes and the grassroots are gaining more support. More people are saying they got traction. More people are saying I'm rocking with them. More people are standing on that business. And that's the most beautiful part. And there's things going on out there in the streets that I want everybody to get behind. Okay. Shout out to my brother again, fam. Shout out to my brother, because people talk about doing work and standing on there and, not just reading articles. Shout out to my brother Church. Y'all look at your screen right now. Y'all tap in with my brother Church, the Freedmen Reparations Party. Okay. I want everybody right now to go ahead and plug in and tap in with my brother Church, because he's building something real good over there. Real good over there, family. This is a solid brother. Everybody says we need this. How don't we do this? There you go right there, family. Look at your screen. The Freedmen Reparations Party, taking our thoughts, minds, and beliefs and transmitting this into a political party and a political atmosphere, because the energy is already there. Only thing my brother doing right here, fam, is my brother is taking the energy from our community and he's putting it into a political sphere. That's powerful. And let me tell you something. They watching. And let me tell you something even further. They're afraid. And my brother's cooking right now. And I need more people to get behind it. There's a lot of people who run around here and talk about how down they are. But when they see something like this, they don't get down with it. Because a lot of people in this movement, it's more about who they like and don't like, opposed to who's doing the work. We about the work. My brother holding it down. And that right there is powerful. Yeah, that's a cold picture right there. That's a cold picture. So do you already see the way the game is going? The game is flowing. This is just another notch on the belt of the grassroots takeover, y'all. It's the grassroots takeover. I'm going to stop saying it's a shift. It's a takeover, y'all. It's a takeover. And it's being took over. And it's being took over by us. There's a lot of strong energy out here, fam. And there's a lot of riders out here. And it's going down the real way. That's what you call work being done. You understand where I'm coming from. So let's keep that pushing and let's support my brother. And y'all check out his channel because he's going to continue to drop the work. And I showed you Church out there in the streets, in the trenches, running up on Sheila Jackson Fleet. Now I'm showing you my brother Church out there putting together a party with real work behind it. That's outside. That's inside. That's in the trenches. That's in the boardroom. That's everything that we desire. So therefore, you see it happening. The only thing left is for the people to get behind it. And that's what the people going to have to do. Okay? Because let me tell you something. Y'all know when I went out there and I checked Kamala and it went so viral, there was a lot of people in the new, or shall I say old black media that just didn't cover it. Now, I don't know how you don't cover me checking Kamala Harris, especially with my track record and especially with what I've done. And especially the fact that me speaking to Kamala and representing the sentiments of what we do is something that's very, very pivotal. And people were jumping over it. So the folks that were jumping over it, the community in the future and the grassroots, we jumping over them. So it's a new time and a new era, and it's an era not based on people's emotions or their feelings, or they don't want to give somebody shine, or they don't want to acknowledge something. You ain't got to worry about acknowledging a certified 100, because certified 100, we acknowledge ourselves. That's why I tell you guys all the time. We are family. We got traction, and we stand with everybody. Notice, if you're on the West Coast, you're on the East Coast, you're in the Midwest, you're in the South, y'all notice, fam, I make sure everybody knows it's about the work being done, not about your feelings, not about, oh, he shines more than me, not about he's a legend and I'm not the people love him and the people don't know who I am. That's a different game, fam. So it's all about that. And I want y'all to notice who are the people who are riding with the people who are doing the work. And then notice who are the people who are hush-hush about people because they want the spotlight on them. Trying to stand next to Black Alpha and get a piece of the spotlight, family, is like trying to stand next to Roland Martin and get a slice of pizza. It ain't gonna work because I'm shining too bright. Number one, legend. Look at this, fam. I'm not done. I got more work to show y'all about my brother holding it down, and I got more work to show y'all about what we're doing. That's the certified 100, right? This is the certified energy, correct? Well, family, that right there is what Kamala Harris put. Kamala Harris had a bunch of empty seats. I mean, I was telling everybody, but they done got me started. Why you get this brother started? Because you know this Black American brother who gonna hold it all the way down is gonna show those. Look at those empty seats, family. That doesn't look like what we're doing. Doesn't look like what we own. No. Y'all know this, family? Foundational Black Americans is putting it all on the table. Foundational Black Americans is getting it done. Foundational Black Americans see through it for what it is. They can't do that. No, they can't. Empty. Look at the top, fam. Look at the top. Look at that. Empty everything. Everything's empty. Now, when Foundational Black Americans pop off, it don't be empty where we are. It don't be empty where we stand. We go and everybody pulls up. So you see the difference between us and them? Fam, I was just going to check Kamala and be about my business and keep it moving. But they wanted to start something. And the $1 million question is why you get this Black American brother from Georgia and Ohio started? Because it's no stop, all gas, no brakes all day. Look at this right here, fam. There's more things that have been going on. Remember all that stuff that you were hearing with the Learning Center? And remember all those frauds that you were hearing from the Democratic Party? Family is getting even more worse because a lot of them are getting checked in even further ways. Watch this. So not only are you losing votes, look like you might be losing freedom.
Your money goes missing. Poof. We're starting at the fraud capital of America, Minnesota, where the FBI just raided 22 daycares. They even hit the Quality Leering Center.
Did y'all hear about that? Remember the Leering Center that disappeared from the news? It disappeared because the feds is on them.
Goes missing. Poof. We're starting at the fraud capital of America, Minnesota, where the FBI just raided 22 daycares. They even hit the Quality Leering Center. Now neighbors say it's empty. This has been an open secret in Minnesota for years. Investigators are coming forward, saying the state covered up the scams. The fraud was so blatant, and they have the text to prove it.
How much longer are you going to do the daycare scam? The owner replied, another year or two. I'm going to buy some nice homes in Nairobi. The owner was on public assistance at this time. They happened to be on vacation in Dubai when this text conversation took place.
The White House estimates $19 billion in fraud just from Minnesota. It's basically how much the Iran war costs. Walz let it happen. Now he wants credit for the crackdown.
This is like the arsonist trying to claim credit for the work of the fire department, because Tim Walz let this fraud happen under his watch. Whether he was complicit in it directly himself or just turned a blind eye towards it, we really did not get much help at all from the governor's office.
The fraud czar says this is just the beginning.
I think Minneapolis is the tip of the iceberg. I think there's sort of a good news, bad news situation in that, Will, which, you know, the good news is that we're stopping the fraud that's happening against the American taxpayer. The bad news is that my own children will never be able to attend school at the Quality Leering Center. So, you know, you got to take the balance, the good with the bad. But fundamentally, what we're able to do is make sure that this fraud is stopping, that the American taxpayer is not being stolen from anymore.
The investigators are looking back to the Biden era and found more than $22 billion in suspected COVID fraud.
Damn. Fam, certified family. Damn. So wait a minute. Investigations over here. Grassroots everywhere. Donald Trump gaining on you. Roland Martin sweating. Chicken grease. It don't sound like the future's too bright. And when you really get to it, to the facts, you can tell exactly that's the case. Now you're starting to see people get ran up on. See, what ended up happening is a lot of that stuff in Minnesota disappeared. But we were watching that a close eye. We kept our eye on it. Shout out to our sister Natural, because Natural was watching it as well. And I remember Natural calling this out, how it kind of went away. But what ended up happening was they basically threw J.D. Vance on it. So this is why you see J.D. Vance popping up and saying what he's saying. So quietly, they're going to start getting people. And I believe personally, some of the folks that were doing the backstabbing and the frauding, I think they're throwing them under the bus. I think a lot of people are getting thrown under the bus. I think a lot of people sweating Martin. That's funny. That's funny as hell. The billions of dollars that somebody going to get got. So that community out there is going to have to deal with some hard time coming up. And nobody's going to be there to save them. Because remember, y'all, Black Americans aren't coming to save anybody. And let's be honest, and let's say what it is, fam. And I want to keep it all the way live. I want to make it clear as day, so everybody understands. Fam, when the Democrats don't have Black Americans to save them, who's going to save them? When nobody's there to put on a cape for the Democratic Party, Black Americans say, don't ask us, who's going to save them? The Democrats aren't in a position to do anything because Black Americans aren't going to be the ones to save democracy, save election, save their ass. Nobody's helping the Democratic Party. So now they're going to see what it's like to not have foundational Black Americans being your backbone. Because they always talk that talk about Black Americans are our backbone. Black Americans do this. Black Americans do that. But whenever Black Americans want something in return, they turn their back on us, like Sheila Jackson Fleet in Clyburn. Well, now, family, foundational Black Americans, we ain't got to worry about them turning their back on us because we ain't even around them for them to do it. We just don't show up. Oh, it's over. See, I seen a bunch of people covering me going at it with Kamala and then me checking that gaggle and whatever. And the question they start saying is that, did y'all engage with Black Alpha? How come y'all didn't talk to Black Alpha? I'm seeing people covering it. Shout out to the people who covered the story, but I'm going to give you the real story because I was the one who stood up and checked her. So I'm going to tell you like it is. And y'all know me, Black Alpha. I'm a Leo. I'm going to say it unfiltered, uncut, raw, with no in-betweens. I wasn't there to have a conversation. Damn it, I was there to tell her what time it is. And that's the way we roll and talk. I ain't there to talk. What you think we was doing in the 1960s, the 1970s? What you think we was doing in the 80s, in the 90s, in the early 2000s? We been trying to talk. I didn't come there for no conversation. I came there to make demands. See, let me tell you about a demand. When you make a demand, that's not a two-way street. That's a one-way. I came there, reparations, cash payments, one way. Certified business, one way. Foundational Black American, one way. Message delivered, message received. Me and Kamala, she heard me. And I was talking to her, said what I said, and left. I was back home, chilling and posted up before the sun went down. That's how you do it, family. We ain't playing no games. I wasn't there to talk. I ain't there to talk because we already know what it is, fam. What you need, another 20 years of them disrespecting us with benign neglect? Another 20 years of these people pretending they're going to do something for us and then they write bills? I don't need Barack Obama 2.0, 3.0, 4.0, 5.0, 6.0, 7.0, 8.0, 9.0, or 10.0. Let's just skip all them hoes because we don't love them hoes, okay? We're going to get straight to it. Cash payment reparations for foundational Black Americans. No talk. The game is done. The days of talking, over with. You're going to cut the check. See, cut the check ain't a conversation, all right? Demanding cash payment reparations ain't a conversation. And I'm the #1 activist, and I ain't come to conversate. So anybody talking about how we regulate, go ahead and skip over all the discussions. Where's my money? It's all about getting paid. It's all about them dollar bills. Our ancestors didn't build America for 400 years later, us to talk about it, us to sit down at the table. No. You go talk to any certified foundational Black American ancestor who has transitioned in any era, in any century, they're going to tell us, y'all go get the money, damn the talk. And I understood it because my receptors are very pure. I heard it from the ancestors, and Kamala Harris heard me. Checkmate. Let me show y'all even further, fam, how we do things over here on the certified side. FBA all goddamn day. Check this out, family. This is what I mean when I tell y'all these people don't know what the hell they doing, and they out here getting roasted. They out here getting clowned so bad. You got DeSantis making fun of Hakeem Jeffries. Y'all know one of them 5-point hoes, Obama. Y'all know the Dollar General, Dollar Store, Timu Obama. Fam, when we make fun of that guy, the Republicans are even making fun of him. And Republicans are bootleg, down bottom any damn way. So when a Republican is dissing you and they ain't worth nothing, then you ain't worth nothing. Watch this.
You roll with the flow, you make things happen. And, a lot of times, obviously people like it. Sometimes you got people in DC and New York who may not like, and they may say different stuff. And we've got this guy, Hakeem Jeffries. Okay. And, he goes out there and he's like, we gonna do maximum warfare against Republicans. Florida Republicans, you F around, you gonna find out all this stuff. And what I said was, listen, and he's like, oh, if you do the redistricting, we're gonna take out all your members, we're gonna do all this stuff. And what I said was, go ahead, make my day. You don't think we're gonna, you wanna come down here and spend money and in Florida, roll the dice and take your chances, but don't think that you can come down here, issue threats to us, and somehow you're going to make us flinch. That is not happening. And in fact, it did not happen.
Damn, how you getting checked by DeSantis? How you getting checked by DeSantis, fam? DeSantis, he's got to stand up to get to that damn microphone on the podium. Y'all see what I'm saying? Don't nobody take no damn Hakeem Jeffries serious. Don't nobody take the Democrats serious. All that F around and find out. All that Jasmine Crockett stuff. Who have they checked? They keep talking about checking the Republicans. You ain't checking nobody. You ain't checked nothing. You're just running your mouth. You getting clowned by DeSantis? Really? This is what you got, Democrats?
I said was, listen, and he's like, oh, if you do the redistricting, we're going to take out all your members. We're going to do all this stuff. And what I said was, go ahead, make my day. Go ahead, make my day. Go ahead, make my day. Different stuff.
Damn.
And we've got this guy, Hakeem Jeffries. Okay. And, he goes out there and he's like, we gonna do maximum warfare against Republicans. Florida Republicans, you F around, you gonna find out all this stuff. And what I said was, listen, and he's like, oh, if you do the redistricting, we're gonna take out all your members, we're gonna do all this stuff. And what I said was, go ahead, make my day.
Damn, family. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. He do be talking like that, don't he? You getting checked by DeSantis. Donald Trump is dissing you. Let's just go there. Let's say what it really is and what it's hitting for. The Democrats are just corny. They're just corny. We talking to my brothers and sisters right now, fam. Y'all remember back in the old days when the Republicans were seen as like old stiffs? Y'all remember that, fam? And the Democrats were kind of supposed to be more of the poppin' party. You would look at their conventions and they would play modern music and they would dress somewhat modern. And then the Republicans look like the Grand Ole Opry. Fam, how in the hell now the Republicans are outclassing and getting more young energy than the Democrats? Somebody said it the other day, family. The Democrats need all new politicians, all new makeover. Who is the front runner? Who's the front runner for the Democratic Party? Family, one of the reasons why the Democrats are losing is because the foundational Black American grassroots has made them completely irrelevant, and the streets are not liking their energy. This is still about getting the energy, fam. This is, I don't know whether they like it or not. This is still a social media world. You still got to get people going. Who likes them? Yeah, Motown music, fam. Yeah, they're stiffs, man. They're stiffs, not like they're lame. Nobody likes the Democrats. They're not popping in the streets. Who is their front runner? Who? Hakeem Jeffries? You're getting clowned by DeSantis of all people. Kamala Harris, I mean, a billion jokes. Joe Biden is 8,097 years old. Barack Obama is ducking smoke. He don't go nowhere. Michelle Obama's got a failing podcast. All of your different influencers are lame. What I said the other day, fam, they got a bunch of podcasters that can't get us to cast votes. They got influencers who ain't got no influence. A Fleeny, Conscious Fleroy, ain't nobody rocking with them. Yeah, they lame as hell. They need all new people. That's what I'm letting everybody know. The Democratic Party has to have a complete makeover. And then you ask the question, why? It's because we broke them. It's because of us. We did it, fam. It's all Black Americans. Without Black Americans, none of this is going on. Without Black Americans, it's a wrap. And without Black Americans, they have nothing to stand on. Nothing to stand on. They're done for. They have nothing that's moving the people. Gavin Newsom, nobody rocks with him out on the West Coast. Karen Boss, these people aren't going to win nothing. Okay, Wes Moore, ain't nobody rocking with them. You know what I'm saying? Brandon Johnson, nobody likes them. They have no future candidates. Their old candidates are done. They have no voter block. Your voter block are the starbursts and the illegals. Okay, and if you get a bunch of illegal starbursts, then you're really going to lose. So what do you have? Nothing. Shout out to our good brother Tariq. If you guys get the opportunity, check out Tariq's. Matter of fact, y'all subscribe to Ism Radio. Y'all make sure y'all subscribe to Ism Radio, fam. My brother Tariq. Tariq did a phenomenal piece the other night about how the Democrats are going to start trying to make a hard turn right. And this is something that we were addressing here 4 to 5 years ago. And we were talking about how you're going to start to see the alt left is what you're going to see. And the Democrats are going to try to get back to 1994, 1995. You know, the Joe Biden crime bill era. You know, the 3 strikes Bill Clinton era. Eventually, we're going to look back at what we're doing by delineating and regulating the Democrats, and we're going to say it was a wonderful thing to do. It's phenomenal. Remember how earlier I spoke about how we call them bluff ahead of time, and we see what they're going to do before they do it, and then we check them before they go that way? Fam, I'm telling you right now, all these people telling us that we're so means and we need to be nice to the Democrats, and all these people talking about how the Democratic Party is so good, you are going to love the fact that you regulated their asses, because I'm telling you now, they are going to try to do a pivot and get into some hard right type of stuff. And it ain't going to work, but they're going to try it. And how do you know it ain't going to work? Because it ain't working now. So if they ain't working now, it ain't going to work then. But guess what? We're going to look at it and say, we checked them when they was faking. We checked them when they was fronting. We checked them when they was flogging. We say flogging down here in Georgia. That's what they doing. So we're going to see it all out. Y'all check that piece out. Because remember, y'all, the Democratic Party circa the 1990s was this right here. Look at all those things that Joe Biden was running around here saying. Look at all those things that Joe Biden was talking about. Family, they had a very serious history of disrespecting foundational Black America. Let's go through it. If my opponent wins, they're going to put y'all back in chains. Interesting. Unless we do something about this, my children are going to grow up in a jungle. Interesting. If you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, then you ain't Black. Interesting. Poor kids are just as bright and just as talented as white kids. Interesting. You cannot go into a 7-Eleven or Dunkin' Donuts unless you have a slight Indian accent. I'm not joking. Interesting. I do not buy the concept popular in the 60s, which said we have suppressed the Black man for 300 years. Interesting. We, Delawareans, were on the South Side in the South Side in the Civil War. Interesting. I mean, you got the first mainstream African-American who is articulate, bright, and clean. Interesting. This was the real Joe Biden. And it's the same exact thing you saw from Bill Clinton. Because if you remember the 1990s, it wasn't Donald Trump who wrote the 1994 crime bill and gave that scaling speech on the floor about how good it was. It wasn't Donald Trump who came up with the 3 strikes. No, it wasn't Donald Trump who supported all of that. It was the Democratic Party. And if you ever watch when Joe Biden was going in, Joe Biden meant every single word. He stood on that. And this is what the Democrats eventually are going to try to get to. They're going to say, we can no longer rely on the Black Americans because the Black Americans said F y'all and threw them to the corner, to the curb, in the trash. So since that, how about we go back and try to sound more MAGA? And this is why you're going to start to get the MAGA-ish Democratic Party. And by the time they turn around and do that, all of us in the grassroots, we're going to say, told you so. And we check them now for what they do in the future. Remember how I told y'all I checked Kamala Harris in 2026 for what she's going to try to pull in 2028? We're checking the Democratic Party now for when they try to turn later and turn into the alt-left. We're going to get them one way or another. So all the people running around here trying to play them games with us, those are the people who are going to try to get us to support the new crime bill that they make. Yeah, the new crime bill, the new 3 strikes. So anytime they pull that, we have already crippled their party before they can do it. The old adage says it best. They said, you attacked him before he said something. Yep, I attacked him because he could have said something. Sometimes you got to check somebody because they could do it. You don't wait around. If you feel there's some type of bad energy, bad vibe that's getting too close to your space, don't wait for it to happen. You check them because they could have did it. And that's what Black Americans are doing. We checking the Democrats for what they did in the past. We checking the Democrats for what they're doing right now, and we're going to check their ass for what they could, should, or would do in the future. It's just a consistent checking, because I told you, you can't be a delineator unless you're a regulator, and when you G-check, you G-check them all the way live. We ain't talking. So that's the beauty of what we're doing. It all go back to the work that we putting in, fam. All right? Because trust me, when I'm checking the Democrats, I'm checking them for what they do now and in the future, because I don't trust them, because I already know everything that they're doing is going to be a game. Remember, y'all, by the time they start trying to make this pivot, we already know the type of people they are. This ain't something where they did it and we like, oh, wow, they turned on us. We don't think that. We've been saying they're anti-Black. We've been saying they're against us. We've been saying these people was going to pull them games. It ain't nothing new for Black Americans to call out the Democratic Party and their racism. It ain't new to us. We know exactly who they are. We see all the way through them, and we know exactly the type of time they on. We ain't running around here treating them like an ally when they really an enemy. We ain't treating them like a friend when they really a foe. We treating them for exactly the way they've always been. You can put on a mask, you can put on a costume, you can cover it all up. Black Americans in the grassroots see through you. So we checking the Democrats for their core. Their core is anti-Blackness. And eventually they're going to try to shift from nice racism to hostile racism. See, everything they do now is cloaked in some type of friendship. Everything they do now is cloaked in some type of allyship. Black Americans don't go for it. Everything they do now is cloaked in a smile, cloaked in being friendly. Black Americans don't go for it. Everything they do now is cloaked in some type of can't we all get along, we all one. Black Americans don't go for it. So we see them for everything that they've done. We see them for everything that they do. And we see them for who they are. And all that stuff is getting G-checked, because that's the way you do it. Going back to what I said about my brother Tariq, he did a good piece on that, and he talked about how they're going to do it. Did you guys see the guy out in, New Jersey? It's somewhere on the East Coast, and he's running around here with some type of like Nazi flag or tattoo, and he's a Democrat. Watch this, fam. This is what I'm talking about. And even the tether lady here, she even points it out. Fam, watch how it goes. You can cover up supremacy for so long and niceness, but your true supremacist side is going to unveil itself.
Now, if this were a Republican candidate who had had a Nazi tattoo, covered it up when he was running for something, and had said all the things that he had said about Black people, about women, about rape, etc., do you really think there's a world in which Democrats would be like, let's just let bygones be bygones? That's the past. Today's the present.
I think we're entering a new era, and we'll see what the base wants. We'll see who wins when the actual election happens. But for the past...
We're entering a new era. Listen to what he said. Fam, I'm just sitting here telling it for what it is. I'm just calling it out. I can call it out, and then I can show you them say what I just said. It ain't just me saying it. It's me saying it, then them saying it, so we all hear it. He just said, we're entering a new era. Black Alpha just said they're going to try to go into a new era. What's the new era? They're going to knock off all the nice racism and get into more of a aggressive, hostile racism. Because guess what? They prefer to do that anyway because that's who they truly are. Seeing through them.
Bygones be bygones. That's the past. Today's the present.
I think we're entering a new era, and we'll see what the base wants. We'll see who wins when the actual election happens. But for the past decade, Democrats have been unified by our opposition to Donald Trump. And now Graham Plattner has a forward-looking message. So if Donald Trump or if another Republican had a Nazi tattoo, I don't know, Donald Trump has dinner with Nazis. It's not that far from, happening. But there's also plausible deniability regarding Graham Plattner's tattoo. We don't know if he knew. We don't know what he knew.
But it's not just the tattoo. It's not just.
Wow. Shout out to the chat. You made a great point. He ain't denounce it. Did he denounce it, fam? Did he denounce it? He didn't denounce it. He made an excuse for it. We don't know yet. He could have did it because of certain circumstances and scenarios that would have allowed it. See what I'm talking about, fam? See what I'm saying, y'all? This is what I'm talking about. This is the con game, y'all. He didn't even denounce it. He damn near sound like he agreed with it. Maybe he got that tattoo. Maybe underneath that cheap suit, he got that same tat.
Message. So if Donald Trump or if another Republican had a Nazi tattoo, I don't know, Donald Trump has dinner with Nazis. It's not that far from, happening. But there's also plausible deniability regarding Graham Plattner's tattoo. We don't know if he knew. We don't know what he knew.
But it's not just the tattoo. It's not just the tattoo.
Listen,
that sounds so pragmatic.
If Republicans want to clutch their
ruthlessly, you want to win, so you're willing to overlook his Nazi tattoo.
If Republicans,
he wants to win, so they're willing to overlook it. Yep, that's exactly what they were doing in the 90s.
Ruthlessly, you want to win, so you're willing to overlook his Nazi tattoo.
If Republicans want to clutch,
there you go. There you go, fam. I'm telling you. Shout out to Tariq, man, because he highlighted that. That was real dope. You see what I'm talking about? That's what I'm saying. This is where they are. But guess what, fam? Like I said, that ain't working. That will never work. Okay? That'll never work. They could try it, but that ain't going to work. That is never going to get off the ground. And Black Americans checking them right now is really going to stop that from ever happening. So go all the way back to, fam, no work, ain't work. Try it. Fail. And that's really what they are, fam. They're on a losing streak. And that'll just be another loss to their point. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, they had Gerardo on there. Fam, I ain't seen Gerardo in years. And the reason why Gerardo doesn't want to hear that, because Gerardo understands that if the Democrats ever go in that direction, then all of those illegals and all those people that he loves so much, fam, they're all going to end up being affected by it. And that's just going to cause more of a rift, okay? So all the Latinos out there that like them, or 6 of them left because a lot of Latinos vote for Republicans, they're going to be looking at that. So end up, fam, they're going to really be in shambles. But lock that in your brain and put it down, fam, because a supremacist is going to show their supremacist stripes. Eventually, they can't play nice forever. And it will be proven that we were correct about them the whole time. Matter of fact, it's already proven, fam, because we FBA and we say so. And by the way, fam, since we're FBA and we say so, and we built this country, one thing about us, fam, is that we know the history of the United States of America. And we know that we have fought in every war. Foundational Black Americans have fought in every single war you could think of, both Iraq wars, Afghanistan war, Vietnam, Korea, the Civil War, the Revolutionary War, and we fought in World War I and World War II. But I don't ever remember there being a World War III. I don't remember a World War IV or V or VI or VII, a World War VIII. There was no World War IX, no World War X. So somebody tell me, how in the hell is Ilhan Omar talking about World War XI? Family, was there a World War XI that Black Alpha didn't know about? Because please let me know. If I'm wrong, I'm willing to admit it. I'm a Leo. I ain't gonna lie. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes we be a little stingy, but I'm a real one. I'm humble. I'm real enough to say if there was a World War 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11, I would like to know. So how the hell does she say that we was from America and there was a World War XI? You see what happens? Maybe that's Somali history.
The last time the Alien Enemies Act was invoked, it was used to detain and deport German, Japanese, Italian immigrants during World War XI. Two. One of the most shameful.
What? World War XI?
During World War XI. Two. One of the most shameful chapters of American history.
Is that tether history, y'all? Is this tether history she trying to give us? Tether history. You might be talking about the 11 civil wars you had last weekend in Somalia, but you can't be talking about America. You see what happens when you allow these foreign people to gain positions in our government, fam? They start talking about World War 11. Fam, she didn't even, fam, World War 3, okay, I got it, you slipped up. World War 4, fam, we couldn't mess up like that on purpose. I couldn't even try to be that wrong. You're so wrong, you done reached levels of wrong that I couldn't get to if I focused on it. World War 11. A child wouldn't even mess that up. You got to be kidding me, family. But she wasn't. This is tether history here, y'all, because it ain't American history.
Detain and deport German, Japanese, Italian immigrants during World War 11. Oh, 2, sorry. One of the most shameful chapters of American history. Now, Stephen Miller.
American history? You just said World War 11. Fam, and by the way, World War 11 ain't even American history. It's called World War, which means the world is at war. You should know that just by being a human being living in the world. She messed up world history. Maybe she learned this at the Learning Center. Oh, I get it, fam. That's her Learning Center degree talking. Her Learning Center degree. That's what it is, fam. She learned about World War 11, and for lunch they had Kamala Harris's collard greens. Got it.
During World War 11. Oh, 2. One of the most shameful chapters of American history.
No, one of the most shameful chapters in American history is them billions of dollars that y'all done stole. And I guess you did that so you could finance World War 11 at the Learning Center. Not really. Damn. In fact, I'm just saying, at this point, they doing it to themselves. It used to be us just checking them. It used to be us out here just dismissing them. Now they messing themselves up, family. They doing it. How many self-inflicted issues do the Democrats have? At this point, fam, the Democrats are doing it on their own. I mean, can't nobody help them at all. Do y'all even know today they had a May Day parade? Are y'all even familiar with that? They had something called the May Day parade, where nobody knows about it at all. Like no one was there. It just, nothing happened. It was called a May Day parade, y'all. And nothing came about. It was nothing serious. Nobody gave a damn. And it was what it was. Yes, the May Day parade. I guess that's somehow like the King's Day parade, or I don't know what the Democrats be up to. What I do know is it ain't working, it ain't moving, and it ain't getting nobody's attention. But there you go. That's standard, typical things that you see from the Democratic Party and the Democratic plantation, and it's just losing after losing after losing after losing. And family, losing is a very, very terrible thing. See, we don't know what it's like to lose because, we never lost. Foundational Black Americans, fam, we always are. But I tell you, our life is a winning streak. And right now they're losing very bad. And the Supreme Court ruling was something that made them so mad. And y'all, they coming around here talking real reckless about FBA. And the Democrats can't even go get shields. Y'all remember back in the day when Democratic shields actually had jobs and they would be on national television? Y'all notice now, like, Democratic shields are like TikTokers. Y'all notice that, fam? They can't even pay anymore. Okay, we messed up their payroll. Their payroll is so down bad that they're just getting random people. You know what I mean? Some of these Democratic handlers are calling up some of these TikTokers with like 5 likes and saying, can you spew things about FBA, and it ain't getting off the ground? Nothing they're doing is working. Fam, I found this person. I don't know who this person is at all. This person said, I hope them FBAs are watching the Supreme Court arguments today. Yeah, we're watching it and we're having a great time. We got 2.5 thousand people on this, in this house tonight on a Friday night. We're watching it. Okay. And we're having a good time. You see our face versus hers. Look at her. It looked like you're watching it and not enjoying it. There's a big difference. Y'all watch this right here to this TikToker who's got 25 likes. We're watching it. Are you watching us is the question.
Hey, sugars. So I remember a while back, there was this chick when that orange buffoon said that, we're going to look into birthright citizenship because the 14th Amendment is for descendants of enslaved folks. And that's really when the big wave of the FBA really started popping their shit. And I have been saying, and I heard about and knew about FBA before I got on this app, is bullshit. It's anti-black, for sure. And y'all hinging y'all dumb cult on the 14th Amendment. So y'all don't know what words mean, and obviously you don't know what the fuck the 14th Amendment means. The Supreme Court is arguing today, hearing oral arguments about birthright citizenship, and if they let that shit lapse, it's retroactive. And a birth certificate is not going to be enough to prove that you're a citizen. You get.
So it goes from the 14th Amendment, no ID card. Now she's sitting here talking about birth certificates. Fam, are they just recycling stuff at this point? Haven't we already destroyed that lie? So she went from the 14th Amendment, Black Americans ain't got ID cards, we ain't got birth certificates. I mean, come on, man. Get some new material and get more than 25 likes. Damn.
Supreme Court is arguing today, hearing oral arguments about birthright citizenship, and if they let that shit lapse, it's retroactive. And a birth certificate is not going to be enough to prove that you're a citizen. You get a social security number, and the new babies will get a social security number, but that's only to work. You will be stateless. And if you cannot prove that your peoples was born in America, you are a stateless person. This impacts everything: voting, jobs, all the things. And of course, anybody in their right mind will be like, that's stupid because they marry all those immigrants and all that stuff. Yeah, but guess what? They got money. So they don't play by the same rules that they make. Words mean fucking things. So why the fuck would you want to call yourself foundational to a fucking system that don't even want you here?
So you're gonna save yourself by voting for the Democrats? Well, she mad, ain't she? She mad? Why are you gonna call yourself foundational? See, fam, they don't like it because they're trying to get us to stop. This is her begging. Can I translate this, fam? This is, please quit being FBA grassroots. Quit acknowledging that you built America. Quit acknowledging that you are the heart and soul of this country. And go vote Democrat. They're begging us, fam. This is begging. This looks like a damn ransom video. Okay, y'all know when the people in the Middle East get hijacked and stolen and they have them ransom videos? This is like a ransom video. She's truly begging us to stop identifying as FBA. And she's using all these recycled lines that ain't working. They scared, man. I told y'all. Yeah, I laugh because it's desperation. This is desperation, man. Nothing she's saying is true. And she don't even believe herself. Look, fam, she's not even looking at the camera. She's not even looking at the camera, fam. Look at this. Eyebrows ain't there. Never trust somebody with no eyebrows. I'm just keeping it real. Hairline is skeptical. You understand what I'm saying, fam? I'm just keeping it real. What we talking about here? What are we saying? So what do I see? I'm going to tell you what I see. Let me tell you what I see, fam. I see desperation. I see desperation. See, the reason why we sit here, all of us, and we be breaking these people down and we be roasting them, because everything comes with a roast. We catch them in a lie, we roast them. All right? We G-check them, we roast them. We called out Kamala, roasted her. Everything comes with a lie is because these people are funny. They're funny because they're losing. And to sit there and watch these people squirm and just say things out the side of their neck and babble, it's hilarious. I love it, fam. I see desperation in everything. Fam, you don't see desperation? Look at this, fam. Look at this. You mean to tell me that ain't desperation right there? Family, come on now. That's about 450 pounds of desperation. Let's be real. You don't see desperation right there? We ain't doing that. Look at this. 15th Amendment has been violated. Look at this. This is desperation, y'all. Look at all that desperation. We got every reason to laugh. Look at these people crying and upset. Desperation, fam. It's desperation when you left the house looking like that right there. That's desperation. It's desperation when you run around here acting like them right there. This is just an absolute desperate time for the Democrats. Fam, can we just rename them? Are they the desperate Democrats? That's what it is, fam. We're going to have to start calling them the desperate Democrats because they desperate. Fam, I mean, if you're the ex-vice president who just ran for president a year and a half ago and nobody's coming to see you like that, that's desperation right there. When people came dressed up as empty seats, fam, that's desperation at the maximum. Look at more desperation, y'all. This is what the Democrats got. And then when you add the Supreme Court on top of it, that's even further desperation. There's no reason to do anything other than laugh at the Democratic Party because they're a party of desperation. So we're going to go ahead and bring it on in. It is the desperate Democrat. Because I be seeing people going in on the Democrats and they be getting mad. And where I'm from, we don't get mad at losers. We laugh at them. And the more we laugh at them, the more they get upset. And they need to be upset with already losing. So fam, if they're upset with losing, they're upset with getting laughed at, and they're upset with being an embarrassment, and we're only adding to it by the G-checking, then that means that we're winning. We're in a great space. Everything we talk about is excellent positivity because we are living our truth, and our truth is victory. Theirs, on the other hand, is no party, no politicians. Every time something pops up, we check them. We their number one arch enemy because everything they do, we getting rid of them. See, now they found out that Black Americans had power over the Democrats the whole time. When you the number one voter block for somebody, you could do as you please, fam. We out here laughing at these people. Black Americans are unaffected. We out here two-stepping, moonwalking. Shout out to Michael Jackson. So the fact that we're doing all of that, we shutting down everything they come up with. You just seen the person sitting there with no eyebrows, upset, looking down, talking, I don't know why you won't call yourself FBA. I don't know why you got on camera looking like that. Okay, as well as everybody else. I showed y'all the TS Starburst person earlier. That thing was mad. And all those things are mad, and all those things are going to stay mad because all the things that we have is what they lack. So this is a beautiful time, fam. You win, you're excellent, you're good looking because FBA, boy, we some good looking ass people. And you're roasting everybody in the process. I mean, damn, that's a full day's work that they can't do. And if you want to talk about winning and you want to talk about really checking these people, fam, I'm only keeping it real. I'm only keeping it real. All right. I'm just going to say what it is. I'm going to put it all on the line. I told y'all everybody came dressed up as empty seats to Kamala. I told y'all Kamala Harris is extremely boring. When I tell y'all, when I checked her, that was the only energy that people had. I mean that. Nobody gave a damn what she was saying. Everybody was checked out. They were somewhere else. She literally is putting people to sleep, y'all. Yes, Kamala Harris is putting people to sleep. She should thank Black Alpha for bringing energy to that completely done-for audience. She should thank Black Alpha for lending them some of my frequency. She should thank Black Alpha for making that dried-up ass terrible book tour that ain't selling no books get a little bit of attention. She needs to hit the Cash App. Kamala, go ahead, hit the Cash App, and you can say thank you to Black Alpha, the number one activist. You need to say, thank you, Black Alpha, the number one activist, for making my tired ass book tour go viral, because it doesn't go viral without me. Everybody said that she was giving the speech from the help. Use is good, use is important, use is special, and use was falling asleep. Marcel had to shake me and say, Black Alpha, wake up. I was like, oh shit, where am I? Oh yeah, Kamala's on stage, the irrelevant ex-president. Okay, let me check her. Then I stood up and got her. Family, was easy work. But if you think that was bad, shout out to this brother right here. Because it wasn't just Black Alpha she been putting to sleep. Y'all look at her put the damn saxophone player to sleep. This brother crashed out. He was in dreamland. This man was dreaming about Waffle House, but he wasn't listening to Kamala. Watch this.
I don't think so, because if you thought no king's rallies were a thing,
still boring.
People would take to the streets.
Look at our buddy right here. Look at this. He fell asleep. He fell asleep, family. I told y'all she was putting people to sleep. I told y'all I gave energy to that event. I told her hit the Cash App. Thank Black Alpha, because I did that. She's giving the same tired speech. She can't move a crowd. She can't move voters. She needs to move out the way.
No king's rallies were a thing. People would take to the streets. No, they have had an agenda that has been in place for decades. To get to this very moment and beyond.
He's in La La Land.
To make it so difficult for the.
He's still sleeping. He slept through the claps. They was clapping, and he was still sleeping. Look at dude in the back, y'all. Look at him. He looked like he nodded off. Where is this man at right now? Please, fam, in the chat. What's this man dreaming about? Because, fam, I'm thinking, I don't know, Waffle House, maybe. I don't know yet. We'll wait till the facts come out. But let me tell you, that man ain't on Earth. He might be in a Waffle House on Jupiter, but he done left Earth. Kamala done made this man's soul leave the planet. That's how boring she is. That's how irrelevant she is. She put this man into a deep sleep. Family, they clapping and he still didn't wake up. She done gave this man a damn sleeping pill. What's going good?
To get to this very moment and beyond, which is to make it so difficult for the...
Y'all code in the chat. Y'all said that man dreaming about ribs. Y'all said he dreaming about a sandwich. That man out there in the Astro playing biscuits, a buffet. Damn. Y'all out here butter biscuits. She out there making this man in dreamland. Look at this dude. They clapping loud. Popcorn. Y'all said that man out there dreaming about popcorn. Y'all cold Black Americans. Damn.
This is where, in politics, you know, we drop the balance in a variety of ways.
No. Damn.
And hope.
He's still sleep. He's sleep holding the saxophone. I've never seen that. The man is sleeping holding the damn saxophone. She done put this man to ultra sleep. Somebody shake this dude, wake him up. What's going on? Somebody said grits and gravy. That man over there slapping the damn gravy on it. That man thinking about dinner tonight, dinner tomorrow, breakfast, brunch, snack. That man thinking about Nutri-Grain bars. That man thinking about a granola bar, a protein shake. That man said he gonna have a salad with some ranch dressing on it. That man thinking about everything but Kamala. The same way we thinking about everything but voting for the Democrats. It's a shame, y'all. She's boring, she's broken, and she got this man floating. That man is all the way knocked out. He holding that damn saxophone with one arm. He got his chin on his chest, and he thinking about a rabbi. This man want a rabbi steak right damn now. This is pathetic, just like they are.
People will follow you if you
wake him up, wake up. Oh, wake up, homie. Hey, get up. Get up. The ex-vice president is talking. Come on, this is Koala. Kadada. Whatever the hell. Come on, get up. Fam, you can't do nothing. This man is gone. This man is past La La Land. I don't know where this man, endless pancakes and syrup. Damn, fried ribs. Somebody get this man up, get some smelling salt. Okay, but make the smelling salt smell like gravy, and then he might wake up. I don't know, but he gone. Damn.
Go for it and challenge the status quo and fight the system on behalf.
Fam, she's right there. She's literally right there next to dude. The camera pans over. Look at that.
And challenge the status quo.
Damn. Hey, hold up. He thinks that damn saxophone is a Big Mac. He holding that damn saxophone very, very cautiously, ain't he? He like, yo, get your hands off my damn stuff. He said, get your hands off my pocket. He said, don't you touch my damn Whopper. He ain't letting that stuff. He acting like that damn saxophone is a large fry. And notice, y'all, before he was sleeping with his hand. Look, his hand's on his leg. His hand is on his leg. 5 minutes later, y'all, the man wakes up and he's got the damn saxophone in his hand. Look right there. Look. She done put this man to sleep in about 15 different ways. He went from one hand on his leg to this right there. He went from split sideways. Kamala's still babbling. He's still sleeping. Boom, bang, split, sideways, wake up, can't get up, falling, help me. Look at that man right there. He went from all of that right there. Somehow he woke up with the saxophone. Man said he got a damn double Whopper with cheese. He got him a value meal. He got him a McFlurry, but he ain't Mick listening because he don't Mick give a damn. Guess what, homeboy? Neither does anybody else. There you go, family. The saxophone player got put to sleep. He fell asleep sitting down. That tells you exactly. So when the saxophone player falls asleep sitting down and foundational Black Americans put the Democratic Party to sleep, sitting down on our couch. It's absolutely, positively poetic. But that's the FBA way, because FBA don't play. Certified checkmate. All right, y'all. It has been another beautiful broadcast. I love y'all with a passion. Roasting them, checking them, doing it our way, doing it in our style with our flavor. First of the month. Everybody check that. Everybody have a great May. Do we got any May babies in here tonight? Okay. If we got some May babies here tonight, I'm going to send y'all some certified love. Checkmate to everybody. Y'all stand up. Much love and respect. You know how it go. I'm loving the energy. I'm loving the vibe, y'all. May all damn day. Shout out to y'all. The summer is here, fam. It is our time. You already know what it is. Get up, wake up. It's the first of the month. There you go. So it don't matter. First of the month, second of the month, mid-month, late month, next month. Foundational Black Americans still certified, still 100, still holding it down, still checking them, still standing on business, still representing cash payments. They still got a bunch of empty seats. You already know that. They still down bad. Roland Martin is still sweating. They still hurting. They still out there loving them W's and loving them H to the Izzos. And we still out here giving them that work. And if they got a problem, political party or anybody, we will press that damn deport button and send your ass home. Whether home is a S-hole country or your home is the dumpster, Foundational Black Americans will personally escort you all the way there. And that's the way the game goes. Love you guys with a passion. Stay safe, stay strong. Y'all know what it is. Black Alpha, #1 activist, #1 chat. We got the strongest movement in the world. We represent the voice of the people, the voice of the concrete. We represent every single foundational Black American, not the boule, the upper class. We represent the hardworking Black Americans, the sister who's on the grind, the brother who's on the grind, the ones who's raising these families, raising up warriors. We talking about the older folks, the younger folks, everything in between, the people who out here on the front line in the struggle in the trenches, fam. We embrace all of that over here on the Black Alpha Network. You know what I'm saying? We represent every foundational Black American who know how to go out and get it, y'all. And that's what we do best. We go out and get it. And if they don't give it, we take it. Every day, all day, certified all the time, megastar-ish every day. Let's go. See y'all on the other end, fam. Y'all stay good. Y'all stay safe. Y'all stay vigilant. And always remember, no matter where you go, no matter where you at, no matter what's going down, Black is beautiful, and beautiful is always Black. Enjoy your weekend. Peace and love, peace and love, peace and love. Black Alpha Network. Free Huey. There they go.
Black Alpha Network. Home of Black excellence. Power to the people.